If these balls could talk with a trio from whom they based the movie The Three Amigos. That's a true story. That's not a true story. Anyway, this is Mark along with John and Pete. As a kind reminder, if you like what you hear, please hit that subscribe button down below, or as Pete likes to say, tickle the bell. Tonight, we welcome back to the podcast the brothers Feyes, Tim and Doug. Gentlemen, welcome back to the podcast.
Yourself.
Welcome yourself.
Doug, are you muted? No, you're not.
No, he's...
His face was moving, and
No, I'm not
I
muted.
just
So we're trying a brand new thing today. As you can see, we have two guests. So we have 5 little boxes on our show
It's gonna
today.
be the Brady Bunch soon.
We do.
You know, I just listened to a podcast with Steve Martin and Martin Short. It was awesome. They're like touring and doing. They're doing. Got.
Does anyone else have the 6th box with the bear?
Yeah, you got to get rid of
like
him.
hallucinating.
I'm
You
talking
do
about
have a
the
6
show.
box with the bear, but that's Craig. He watches us and he listens.
That was just the pre-show drugs that we gave you. It's fine.
I just maximized Craig.
You did. You did. You're focused on Craig now.
Maximum bear.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, if you right-click on the screen, you can press a button that says "Get rid of show non-video participants." You can uncheck that box.
IT guy, you're supposed to do the stuff before.
Aha.
Well, Craig wasn't up before, and I did everything else, so shut your face. Anyway,
Gosh.
We're
All
already
right.
getting totally sidetracked. Anyway, how's
Totally
everyone been?
sidetracked.
How's everyone been? John, let's start with you.
I have been great. I have started, I think I said this last week, I started working at home to help with picking Jamie up from school on Thursdays, and I really like it. I really, really like it. I was not as efficient as I'd like to be, but then I was, so kind of worked out. and I got to cook early, so that's cool. And
That's the good and the bad thing about working at home. Is like, so you can work anytime, but you can work anytime.
I got to offer Tim a ridiculous trade that'll shake the foundations of our league. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out. And yeah, doing great. How are you, Mark?
The days just kind of blur now.
So?
I mean, because I'm just doing all the jobs, and because I have 87 jobs. So
This is true.
Is it an illness or an addiction? Like
maybe a little both. Maybe a little both. Do
you enjoy any one of them?
Oh yeah, I enjoy them all. I especially enjoy the money that I make from them, or at least some of them.
Oh.
This one I probably enjoy the most, and I make the least.
You mean 0?
Sometimes it's a labor of love.
Negative. I make negative.
Negative.
We make negative. Pete, what about you? How about we do an update on
Baby watch. Mostly the same, although we did have a couple showers.
Fucking favorite.
All the showers are done. Actually, no, that's not true. Steph has a work shower tomorrow. So
All right, I gotta ask: is your living room pink? Or no, it's not pink. Is your living room just blue tissue paper and blue bags and storks and shit everywhere? Is that what's going on?
More giant cardboard boxes still at the moment.
Giant cardboard boxes. I like that. It's like you got married, but to a baby.
Yeah, trim that I still need to caulk, but at least the walls are painted and the floor is done, and so like, yeah. When we actually get it cleaned out,
South of the Mason-Dixon, John.
Yeah,
That's true. Oh no.
Oh my god.
So we're working on it. This
what's
weekend
it
is
today?
going to be a. Ooh, that's a good one.
Hop Atomic Rush. Go ahead, Pete. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no, it's fine.
You grab a refill.
Everything is going pretty well. Just got to finish cleaning stuff up. That's going to be this weekend. We're gonna. Ooh. So yeah, and since that's all my life, no, actually, I'm also working a ton of overtime right now, just to make things as complicated as possible.
The project that you can't tell us about is at least very cool.
It's very cool, but it's
There we go.
it's stealing my soul.
Well, at least it's cool.
Is it the Taylor Swift movie?
Yeah, she. As a matter of fact, right before the Chiefs game, she was in her office
Doug,
working with us.
So I read, and I don't know if it's fake news, but all the people she brought to MetLife were like Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds and Chris Carpenter.
Yes.
And I read that might be
Deadpool.
the Deadpool cast because she might be playing Dazzler, which would track a little bit, right?
I heard the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know who that. I don't know who that is, but
I think she wasn't she like a random X-Men or something?
She's an X-person.
Okay.
Is
Yeah, she does.
And she's a pop star. She's a pop star with
Yeah.
mutant powers.
yeah. That would make sense.
That's way better than one of the cats in that terrible Cats movie. So, moving on up.
Oh, the cats.
Just got to bring that
remember
one
when
back up.
Remember when Taylor Swift was an actress and she was in all of those big cast movies with like 1,000 people, like the
Yeah, well, was it Valentine's Day or
It was
New
like all
Year's
the
Day? It was
ensemble
one of
cast
them.
movies, right?
Yeah.
Jesus, that movie was so fun.
She was also in. Did you
I
ever
don't
see the
remember
movie
that.
Amsterdam?
Yeah.
She had a
that.
small part in Amsterdam, and she like gets like spoiler alert. She gets like run over by a car.
Oh no.
Is it a
Not
comedy
Taylor.
or
You
She has a
I
very
just-
small part
I
in
just
it.
Like that. I just like that with her and Travis Kelce dating. He's putting her on the map now.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly the order that it's happening.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right,
She's owed it. She really is.
Yes.
let's get to know our guests a little better, shall we?
Yes.
What a great segue that was, by the way. All right. So, everyone, I think it's time that we take this opportunity and having the three sons of Buffalo gathered on this little podcast to settle a great debate once and for all. So, gentlemen, what, in your opinion, are the best wings in all of Buffalo? Now, we will each give you
Such
about
a rude question.
We will each give you about a minute to defend your favorite Buffalo wingdom, and make sure you provide excellent examples and or stories.
I just wanted us to argue about this for like 5 minutes. That's the only reason I thought about putting it down.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not our
Who
fault.
wants to
He's
start?
part of
I'll
it.
go.
Who wants to start?
I'll go first. I really don't have a favorite.
But you have to have a
Like every
favorite.
pizzeria. It's really
It's the whole
whatever
point.
pizzeria I get from, to be honest with you. Recently, I had there's a restaurant that opened up down the street called Rush Creek, and they had a dry rub, which was really good.
Oh, I love a good dry rub.
Barbecue dry rub.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Not
do.
that kind of genre.
There's another place.
Maybe I like 'em
called,
both.
Bruner's.
Ooh, not at the same
They
time
do
though.
a really good char grill.
Ooh.
They deep fry, toss it in barbecue, and toss it on the grill. It's really
I
good.
do. I grill my wings at home too. When I can't make them on a fire, I will grill them. I love grilled wings.
But the best in Buffalo, Doug. I don't really feel your argument. I'm not convinced.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. It's just they're all good.
You don't have a favorite? You don't
Um,
have a number one? Like you have a craving for wings. Where do you go?
So okay, it's really geographically. So when we lived in Virginia, we'd come home, we'd stay with Bridget's parents, and we'd get Fat Man's all the time. That's up in Tonawanda.
You can't
So-
go wrong with a place called Fat
I
Man's.
love that. Yeah. Amazing.
I might eat anything from a place
now-
called that.
Right. Now that we're back home and we're living in Orchard Park, there's like 5 great places that you can go to any time. Going into town though, we'd go to Duff's a lot just because that was kind of like a standard.
That's like high floor, low ceiling. Like you can't get wrong with Duff's necessarily. It's just consistent.
Right.
But it's
Yeah, so
definitely
what do you think?
yeah. Go, Tim. You probably know a bunch of these now.
Yeah, Tim, why don't you go now?
I side a lot with Doug with this. I do think there's just a lot of really good places for wings, and it's kind of like where you are, where's the good place for wings? Because you really you can get it everywhere. But honestly, for me, my money, it's still Duff's. Plus, I can walk
Really?
there from my house.
Well, that's a huge
Jumble
advantage then.
home,
Yes.
I guess.
It's true.
But no,
That is a
they're the
huge
OG.
advantage.
It's amazing. Like the flavor is just so consistent. It's perfect every time. If you like hot wings, this is a place to go. And Duff's is like cool. It's like no frills. It's like they have the tablecloths that you see in your grandma's basement, like the red and white checker marks and stuff. And,
Oh yeah.
Do they still have
good
the
crispy
Scoville
crunch.
meter on the wall? I thought that was always cool.
Certainly do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's,
this,
you don't have to go crazy to get it hot. It's
No.
I still think that's the place to go.
That's my favorite
hard to
of the
get in
times
and
that I've
out.
been. So I agree with you guys.
it's a solid
It's my
argument. Plus,
favorite.
they play like reruns of Funniest Home Videos on the TV all the time.
That's true.
All right, Pete, your
So-
turn.
I haven't been to these two places, but I hear like you look at like
think we're
any
getting a guest
Reddit
star.
thread or whoa, there's Lisa.
Hey, Lisa.
Hey Lisa.
Bye, Lisa.
Stop. Sorry. I'll record.
We're live. We're live right now, Lisa.
Almost lost Tim. Amazing.
Pete,
I had to
argue.
ask you guys. It's
You
important.
got 2 minutes.
I've always wanted to visit these two because I've heard they're legendary. There was, I think, Wingnuts was the name of them, and Barbill.
Mhm.
So I hear those names a
Barbill's
lot when
very
people argue.
crispy.
Barbell is good, but it's overrated
Is it?
and it's always busy. It's always crazy, and they only take cash.
Okay, that would be rough.
I used to one in East Aurora. The one up in Parents, I think.
Yeah, the one up in
Finally
Williams was
joined it.
a little bigger, but I have not been to Wingnuts yet, Pete. But they are opening one also within walking distance of my house.
Well,
so
there.
we
Well,
should go there
there
next
you
time
go.
you're
We'll
in
have
town.
to go check it out.
I would
Your
love
house
to do
kicks
that.
ass.
Next time we're over there, we should walk over there.
You know, I'm right near the university, so there's always lots of restaurants where I am.
Yeah.
so.
That makes sense.
I will give a shout out to my local as we're sticking with this whatever's geographically closest theme is gotta love Mammosers. Also,
Ever been?
unofficially the unofficial sponsor
Never
of Wingfest.
I
Nice.
am also all
Unofficially
for
official.
something that's geographically close to me. There's a bar down the street from me. Well, it's a pizza restaurant place. It's kind of a bar too, though. It's called The Social, and they have some pretty good wings
That place has
too.
good food.
That's a nice, that's a
And-
nice restaurant.
And it's a place I can
Slash
walk
bar.
to and stumble home from.
You gotta get to Providence. I really want to see your town.
It's a cool little town.
Rhode Island's one of like 7 states left that I have to get to, and I would love.
It's
to get
much
out
nicer
there.
in the summer.
Yeah.
Imagine like
I know
Buffalo if it actually
that,
had a lot of
yeah.
people in it. It's because it's about infrastructure wise, it's about that size, but it's just has like 3 times the population.
And beaches.
Providence isn't that big.
Those
No?
would be a good time.
Okay, maybe not.
Yeah.
And beaches.
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 What up, beaches?
Beaches,
Okay,
beaches,
so let's move-
beaches.
Oh, I finally saw that movie, by the way. It was amazing.
Was
It's
amazing.
good,
the
wasn't
Mario
it?
movie.
So many,
Yeah.
so many callbacks.
Great.
Steph was a
Every
little bit
every
like,
woman that's ever seen that movie is like, I don't understand what's
yeah,
happening.
Steph was like, I don't know. It looked cool and there were some fun parts. I'm like, but every time I'm like, oh my God, I know that song. Oh my God, I know that thing. Oh my God, I know that part.
Yeah,
That was cool.
it wasn't made for her. Sorry, Steph.
Speaking of movies that no one else would understand, we talked about this before in a couple
Good
episodes.
segue, Pete.
See, I'm learning.
You're a professional.
I wanted to bring this up
You're
again.
professional.
So Doug and Tim and I, from like middle school through high school, made a ton of home movies as kids with like very detailed scripts. I remember one time Doug wrote like a 5-page script for like one scene in a movie, and we're like, Doug, we're not doing this. we cut it down to like 2 paragraphs, but it was still pretty
I
cool.
must have erased that from my memory. I was so scorned.
It was a good script.
Scorned.
We just didn't have time. People being murdered by golf clubs, special effects, a fart that tries to kill people, Super
Oh, it
Tim.
did kill people, Pete. It did.
Yeah,
kill
actually,
people.
it did kill people, right?
Mm.
With a theme song sung by
Super Tim 2.
my neighbor Kenny. Yep, Super Tim, which I have Super Tim 2 still. So this is the second
What
part
was
of
the
my
plot
thing.
of Super Tim 2 again?
Yeah, can we take a moment to discuss all this, but also before I get there, the first original tape that I painstakingly lost in college,
Aw.
which is like the worst thing ever. And you
Oh, yeah.
guys will never let me live that down, and that's fine. I deserve it. Somewhere, I still wish that someone like some janitor picked it up from like RPI if I left it there, or like someone snagged it out of Tep's attic, which was the only other place I thought it might have been. And are like, these are some pretty awesome movies.
Pete, why was it the best? That's my first question. You told me about it, and I'm like, that sounds awesome.
Well, I mean,
but this mystery, this like MacGuffin of a movie tape, like,
Or
why
the
was
Mac-
it the best?
So the monster movie trilogy, that started it all.
Tell me about
Oh
it.
my god, yeah.
There were 3 of them?
We started a 4th, but
Think
we
so.
quickly stopped because we realized it was really bad.
Pete, wait, let's refresh. What were the movies on the original movie tape? Because I only
Okay.
remember it in terms of the original movie tape.
So it was the monster movie trilogy, Super Tim 1, the weird Japanese talk show where Doug was voicing me moving my mouth all the time. I don't know
See
why.
it so
Oh my
bad.
god.
I needs it.
I think there was like some experiment where we took that a step further and we tried to do a kung fu dubbed fight where we were just fighting and Doug was just narrating for English people, and he goes like, "No, you won't. I am fierce on the stairs." I don't know. I remember that line. Pete Guyver was on there.
Oh, Pete Diver.
Yeah, Pete Letterman.
Guyver is probably our most complicated
That was
movie
the one with the 5-page
that we
script.
made. We had scene cuts,
Yep.
and
Oh,
it was like
we had a fake gunshot wound that looked pretty convincing, actually.
that's right.
Yep. Because we killed Eric in
Yeah,
every
t-shirt.
single movie.
We killed Eric.
I mean, we gotta kill
Yeah.
Eric.
Right.
Like
Sorry,
in
That's
Eric.
our-
In the monster movies, Eric died like every single time, like 10 times a movie.
Was the monster movie the one you tried to kind of create a Swamp Thing monster? Because I think I probably saw that one.
I think Doug and I just had Halloween masks and we put them on and we made
We
up
had, yeah.
And you were murdering Eric a lot.
masks. And it wasn't just that. We made that. Remember, we just randomly started putting notes on Mario Paint.
Oh yeah, the Super Nintendo game.
And
a
and
theme
just
song, a theme
and then we
song.
played it. I'm like, this kind of sounds like a monster movie theme song.
Hold on,
And we just kept adding notes here and there.
I'm gonna find
And I'm
this.
just like eating Doritos in the corner.
Yeah.
We're like, this sounds great, guys. Just leave the Doritos to me. I got this.
So the second tape, which I still have, has the Australian murder mystery with the guy getting murdered by a golf club. Again, Eric.
Now, Pete,
on,
Mark,
Pete,
and
I'm
I
not
will
ready to
be
move
very
on from-
happy,
Oh,
as it is
okay.
not copyrighted material, for you to put it on the stream right now.
Well, I can find the monster movie music. I think. Hold on. It may not be.
I
on
know
this
you can
computer.
do
You
it.
know
I
what
have
the
faith in you.
plot- I don't remember what was the plot of Pete Guyver about. I really
Was
can't
it like
remember.
a MacGyver plot? where
Yeah. So
Pete was MacGyver.
okay, here we go. This is, someday we should just try to recreate this in one night and just it would be really
Because everyone
stupid.
knows MacGyver's name is MacGyver.
Yes.
That's like not Pete, Mr. Pete Guyver.
I know.
His full
I don't
name is
know.
not MacGyver.
It was really dumb. So it started with me like being trapped in a bathroom or something like that, and then I started finding like a paper clip, a twist ties, a stick of gum, and like started doing stuff. And the camera panned away, and it panned back, and I had a giant gun. So then I blasted my way out. Tim picks me up
Amazing.
at the station, and because he was whoever the MacGyver's partner was, and then
The
it
sidekick.
I don't know. And Doug was the drug lord Mahagigi.
And
But
sidekick.
yep.
Hakagigi.
Wait, what?
Yes. It was it took place in South Africa for no reason at all.
Wasn't the end? Didn't I like turn myself into a monster or something?
No, you made monsters, and that was Eric and Cody,
That's right.
our old neighbor.
Okay.
Who we also killed immediately by throwing a box at them or something. I don't know what happened there. Lynn was supposed to be our guide, and then she betrayed us.
That's right.
Yep. And
then she turned against, because she was my daughter.
right, she was your daughter, and
She turned against me.
right.
I
in the
can't hear
end.
Doug. Anyone else?
You can't hear me?
I
hear
can hear
Doug.
Doug.
He was cutting out a little before, but
No.
Tim, can you hear me?
I can hear you. But I
All
couldn't
right,
hear
that's
Doug.
good. That's
Okay.
important.
I can hear it. Yeah, I was able to hear Doug through all that. But
There you
Doug
go.
say something.
yeah,
Something.
All right, John, you want to go?
Yes, because we are at time and we're fucking around with Can You Hear Me Now? So.
can you hear me now?
All right, so
good
earlier
times.
Doug expressed an interest to me to use a part of this interview time to talk to Pete about his impending fatherhood, as this is probably the last time he'll get an extended time to talk to Pete before the baby arrives. Doug, what kind of advice do you have for him? And do you have some starter dad jokes you'd like to share with him?
Yeah. So. Okay,
By the
so
way, I
let me
really
ask
wish we had like some Mr. Rogers background theme music going on for Doug
Yeah.
right now.
No, this will be good. So, best advice I got before I became a dad was don't listen to people's advice. They will.
Okay.
Everyone will tell you how you should raise your child.
Straight up.
But
That is a truth fact.
you need to just listen and say thank you. Then just forget it, because every child's different. Every parents or parents are different, and you'll do what's best for your kid, no matter what.
You'll figure it out.
The decisions you make, the decisions you make will be the good decisions. and you'll figure it out day by day. You can always ask, people who have gone through it, what do I do if this happens, or this happened, what did you do? Yeah, people tell you all day long, oh, you need to do this with your kid. And every book that's written by doctors, and for the people listening, I'm putting my fingers up in quotes. Books are terrible. They're wrong. They just want you to buy the book. Google is a great resource. My child just swallowed a Lego. Will they die? No.
They're actually incredibly resilient.
I have heard this.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
They bounce.
A little bit.
Fall.
I mean, don't drop them a lot.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like, if you drop them once,
like a handful of times over a couple of years.
no, but like,
it's
if you
probably
drop
fine.
him once, don't freak out. He's probably fine.
No, exactly. The poop
I love how you're
off-
condoning dropping children, by the way.
Well, I don't condone it, but the poop up the back diaper changes are always the
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, fuck
Always got to
that.
check the back. I've heard.
best. When you go from like, milk or breast milk, the formula, to starting to solid foods, that's when the fun begins.
oh yeah, those you get some good poops from those.
Yeah. And don't get too crazy on milestones, but milestones are important because that's how we kind of figured out what was going on with Sam.
Mhm.
And also, if you go to a doctor and they give you advice, Google what they say and then get a second opinion, because that's what we did with Sam, because the first doctor was completely wrong.
Oh, jeez.
And
That's
we're just
tough.
like, well, that doesn't sound right. Yeah. So, it's you'll figure it out. I'm not trying to tell you to scare you. I'm telling you this because it's a learning experience for everyone who becomes a parent. All our parents, their parents, they didn't know what they were doing in the beginning,
Everyone's faking
and
it.
they figured it out.
Fake it till you
Yes.
make it.
100%.
Everyone is. Every single
Right.
person.
Well, thank you.
Do so is
Oh no, I was gonna keep going.
so as being a dad, or almost becoming a dad, you need to learn some dad jokes.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait. I
The
can't wait
rite
for
of
these.
passage.
I can't wait for these.
So I can give you a couple of gems that I use with my kids.
By the way, John, I'm totally ready with the soundboard.
I know you are.
Yeah,
I wasn't even worried about it.
this was a favorite of Nora's when she was little. How do you make a tissue dance?
I don't know how.
How?
You put a little boogie in it.
Oh.
That was great, Doug. Really great.
Tim's
Keep
eyes
going.
have rolled in the back of his skull.
We're going to talk about sports really soon, Tim.
Yeah, don't worry. Speaking of which, how are
why
the...
didn't the skeleton?
No, go ahead.
Why didn't the skeleton climb the mountain?
Why?
It didn't have the guts.
Hey.
Okay, this is probably the one book in parenting you did read.
Well, that's true.
Another great thing to do whenever your kid says, "I'm hungry" or "I'm tired," you say, "Hi, hungry," or "Hi, tired."
Oh,
They love it.
I bet. They'll be here all week, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
One more, and then we
And,
got
One more. Yeah, one more.
shit,
One more.
okay.
One more.
One
Yes.
more, because we're out of time.
Why do fathers take an extra pair of socks when they go golfing?
I don't know why.
In case they get a hole in one.
Hey. And now he's dead.
Oh man. Well, thank you.
We
I
love-
That's what you have to look for.
We love you, brother,
Yes.
and we're excited for you, and you're going to kill it.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
No,
All right.
no, he's gonna do well. He's going to do
Hey, he's going to do better than that.
Yes. Thanks, Tim.
Don't kill it. Don't kill it.
All right.
Okay.
All right,
Let's talk about
everyone.
some
Shall we
sports and
kick off
stuff.
the? Shall we kick off the shindig?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, we're going to get things started with a little Bills. We're continuing with our Buffalo theme. We're going to talk about some Bills and their disappointing loss to the Jaguars in Tottenham last week. Now, the Jags, who, let's face it, have London as its second home and have actually played there for 11 straight seasons, not counting 2020.
Yeah, it's a home game.
Interestingly enough, they played for their consecutive weeks across the Atlantic as they played the Falcons the week before in Wembley. So they were used to the time change.
They didn't have to travel?
Bills had to fly. They stayed there for the whole week.
They were there the whole week.
Fucked up.
So everyone, do we blame the time zone change on the recent Bills loss, or is there something truly to worry about? Also, do we think the NFL will branch out into Asia?
Asia. I blame the home game that is not a home game, the bad turf, and the referees all equally. Next topic.
And I mean, I think also the fact that the Jags didn't have to fly for 12 hours certainly is. Yeah. I read they didn't start practicing. The Jags were there all week and they practiced their normal schedule, but the Bills didn't start practicing till after Wednesday. That's crazy. I mean, that's
they
not
didn't
even
get there. They didn't leave till Thursday.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's
not
crazy.
Fair. That's not fair at all.
You need time to adjust.
Which I didn't realize that. I thought they weren't allowed to leave till Thursday. That was the Bills' decision to not leave till Thursday.
That doesn't make sense.
Idiot. Yeah. Idiot gets paid a lot of money, made the decision.
I mean, so let's say, think about it, right? You leave on Thursday, and you probably get there at the time on Thursday that in England is probably pretty much the night. And so you sleep, and then you wake up on Friday, and you don't practice on Friday. So you go one day of practice before an NFL game?
Yeah, it doesn't seem right.
And the Jags!
The
Jags aren't
Friday
great, but they don't suck.
Saturday.
Evan Ingram's having a good season.
Hey, they were a playoff team last year. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Trevor Lawrence is
They're not
good.
bad at all.
Newsflash.
Well, this is the thing that happens with West Coast teams all the times, right? When they play the 1:00 games on the East Coast, it's essentially the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Except 3 hours instead of 6.
I don't buy the time change as much as I think this team's traumatized. I think they're not over last year. I don't think they're over losing Trey White last week.
Yeah. They've a couple very serious injuries.
Major injuries right in the beginning of that game. I just think this team's they're just a little shell shocked still. But fortunately, I think it's early in the season. There's time to recover.
Yeah,
There's
week
time
5.
to hit your stride. Like ultimately, this is still a really great team, and we have tons of depth on defense. So
I mean, they are still incredibly offensively one-dimensional, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And
less so. James Cook. Yeah, James Cook is actually pretty good. They just need to spring him. Like he's.
I mean, is he running though? Because I think that Josh Allen was the highest rusher in the last game, right?
In the last game, but the week before that,
he had over 100 yards.
After 4 games in the season, James Cook was 5th in the NFL in running yards. Was not after this last game.
At least 2 100-yard games.
Yeah,
not even all purpose.
It was
right,
100. It was over 101, and then like 96 the other one.
Plus like 30 yards or 40 yards catching.
Yeah,
so
he's doing great.
The player
Josh is running way less.
Right. What I do feel like is an issue though is they're using all this 12 personnel now because they have Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox, but they're not using Dalton Kincaid. I know he's not Travis Kelce or George Kittle or Mark Andrews, but you should at least try to use him like that. Like you drafted him to be that. So
are they using him to block more?
I don't know what they're using him for. No, because they have Dawson Knox for that.
He doesn't block well.
Maybe Allen is just not looking for him then, right?
Maybe.
Well, he also is a rookie, and it's only been 4 games.
I know.
Oh. I think eventually,
we demand greatness, Doug.
Season.
We demand greatness.
Cook is number 16 in rushing yards right now.
Yeah, because he got almost
number 16.
John, he got like nothing last game. That's why. It was a weird game.
Well, he also got
if you add 100, add 100, right? He's still not top 10. It's good. It's better.
It's
better.
Like, even Kincaid though, like the Jags game aside, where he was concussed, going into week 5, he was on pace for the 5th best season of a rookie tight end ever in the history of NFL.
Yeah.
So rookie tight ends historically just don't do amazing. Now it looks terrible because Sam Laporta has been lights out, and he was the draft pick after Kincaid.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
So it's hard to not compare it to
Yeah.
Laporta, but he's doing well. And honestly, they don't really use him. I don't think they really scheme for him. It's kind of ridiculous. I
Yeah.
don't know what Dorsey is doing all the time. I don't know that he's the right guy.
So
I've
so
thought
that's
that
a
too,
great
yeah.
that's a great point, Tim. Is do we feel the offense has progressed from last year at all, or do we feel like he's
Well,
making the
think-
same mistakes?
I would say that so the offense is extremely comparable to 2021, where I think everyone, at least in Buffalo, thinks universally 13 seconds left of the game, lose to Kansas City. That was your shot, right?
That was the Super Bowl year.
That offense was insane, and it really just had primarily a Stephon Diggs and then a hodgepodge of people around him.
They still had
putting the same amount of
Beasley
points.
playing at a high level though, and that was a big difference.
Granted, but the same number of receivers or receptions to
Right.
the entire receiving core is like
Yeah.
the same line of 2021.
Hmm.
So the offense, I don't think has regressed, but you saw the same exact thing last year when they traded for Naeem Hines. They never used him. They
Yeah.
traded, what was it? It was a pretty decent pick for Naeem Hines, and then they couldn't even figure out how to game plan.
I mean, he did
in
run
the game. So
2 kick returns back for a touchdown in one game, but other than that, yeah, they didn't use him in the
that's not-
offense.
But that's not.
I didn't
offensive
like that game.
plan.
I know,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
Final
they're-
thoughts. We're out of time.
So real quick, the last question: do we think NFL will branch out into Asia? Quick yes or no?
No,
It's going to take some time for that.
They have to figure Europe out first.
Europe and
which
Mexico
they're doing
first.
They're doing right now.
Yeah,
They're
I want
figuring-
I want the
Actually-
NFL to do 24 hours straight of football.
Europe, Canada, and Mexico. I think is going to be the first major international expansion.
Where is the first? Where
Toronto.
is the first international expansion team? Is it in Toronto?
No, it'd probably be
I don't think there's going to be an expansion team.
the Jaguars should officially become the Jaguars
Toronto.
and just move to London.
Oh yeah, we love your NFL game up in Canada. Hey, we get the poutine fries. It'd be good. Time.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. They probably don't really care. They have their own football league up there. It'd be more
All right,
Mexico City.
Who's got a next topic?
I'm sure that the Feyes boys do.
Did we prepare any?
I didn't. I figured you guys would carry
That's
this
okay.
whole thing.
I forgot to ask for a first topic.
That's all right. I actually have sound bites of those.
It's been a busy week. I apologize.
That's fine. All right,
That was perfect. All right, let's go.
John, I got you covered.
Hey, baby, do you want a next topic?
You got me. That's great.
That works.
All right. What are we gonna talk about, you guys? Let's talk about this. I saw an interesting news article. The NFL is considering. Wait, did you say I have to do the 49ers? Oh, yeah. Okay. So the NFL is considering fining 49ers tight end George Kittle for the profane t-shirt he wore under his uniform Sunday night that stated, "Fuck Dallas," which I agree with entirely. Under the terms of the NFL's fine schedule, personal messages carry a fine of $10,927. So, George Kittle's really
That's
going to care
very
about
specific.
It's very specific.
that. Very specific. Kittle
and
revealed-
42 cents.
Kittle revealed the t-shirt while celebrating running back Jordan Mason's 26-yard touchdown in garbage time after Christian McCaffrey put his feet up. As the 49ers took the touted Dallas defense apart, winning 42-10.
It was awful.
So clearly, $10,000, like I said, isn't going to affect George Kittle for taunting them boys. But what do you think about this fine? Is the NFL right? And how can the 49ers be this good?
How is it any different, really, in some respects, than the message that they wear on the helmets, right? Like the end racism and all that. Like it's their own personal opinion, right? So, and I mean, in
Well,
some
they're
respects, it is.
Racism, fuck
And-
Dallas.
I mean,
These are a level playing, Mark.
that is on brand.
This
Listen,
is
I'm
a-
not
this is
saying
an-
it's the same
This
message.
is an interesting stance that I was not expecting.
I'm not saying it's the same message, but the concept of it is the same. It's your own personal opinion.
But those are NFL sanctioned.
Well, right.
Those
the
are
teams
allowed
doing
by
it.
the
The
NFL.
teams are
That's
doing
why.
it.
Oh,
That's
NFL
why.
sanctioned
It should be
opinions.
sanctioned.
Yeah,
That
can we-
NFL sanctioned opinions.
Can we get fuck Dallas NFL sanctioned?
I mean, no,
Oh,
but
okay. I
they
know.
love Dallas.
Jerry
Jerry
Jones.
Jones
I have
would
a
not.
unique-
Voice.
I wouldn't be surprised if Kittle tried to
Yeah.
trademark that, though.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is like this is exactly your question, John, but I do have a take on that because like to your point, Kittle doesn't care. What's 10 grand? to that guy?
10 grand is-
10,000, whatever.
And then, you know what?
Nothing.
The team might pay for it, too.
But like Stevie Johnson did that playing the Ocho Cinco, Chad Johnson, Terrell Owens Bengals, who are Batman and Robin or whatever. And
Oh,
Stevie
yeah.
scores a long touchdown, rips open his shirt, and it says, "Why so serious?"
That was awesome.
And
That was serious. That was awesome.
I will never forget that. Like, I saw that dude
was
at the
amazing.
stadium, like doing a 5K, and I was like, "Will you say that into my phone?" He's like, "Absolutely." And like now I have a video of Stevie saying, "Why so serious?" Like, I will always know him for that. He will always be a fan favorite
yeah.
to me because he cheesed the Bengals
Yes.
in their face with their stupid catchphrase.
He needs to be in the
And
Wall of Fame,
I
by the
give-
way.
Yeah, let Kittle do it. I'm all about it. Be yourself, man. What's
Yeah.
10 who cares?
Yeah.
Who
You
Whatever.
see
cares
George
about it?
Kittle on Sunday Night Football after they took the Giants apart, and he was just like, that dude is awesome. That dude has long blonde hair, and he doesn't give a shit about anything. And he's like, we're the fucking 49ers, you guys. We're super good at football.
Yeah.
They are the team to beat.
How did they not win the Super Bowl this year?
I think they win for fun. I mean, and
Yeah.
It's still early.
Brock Purdy's arm, man.
Well, right, yeah.
It's still early.
It all rests on how well
It
that arm
is
surgery
only
holds up.
October.
for the
okay?
people at home, Tim just flailed his arm like it wasn't attached, and it was hilarious.
Gotta watch the YouTube.
Can somebody
No,
go
it's so
to Halloween
gross,
as Brock Purdy's surgically repaired arm?
You think he
This
got
is
robot?
UCL.
You think he
Yeah.
got robot parts?
Oh,
He might
totally.
have a robot arm. He might
I'm
have
sure
a
he
sure
got
he's got
robot
some
parts.
sort
Yeah.
of titanium.
I think
quick
Spielberg got
segue
in
to
there.
Halloween. Real quick segue to Halloween. I saw the best costume. I think it was a guy wearing a meat, like a piece of meat,
Just
like,
a meat?
blanket with eyes cut out, and it was called a gabagool, like a ghost costume, but in a meat costume.
Also,
This
it's
is-
me
That's-
in Italy. It's amazing. It's the
That's
best joke
funny.
I've ever heard.
That's amazing.
Tim, you just told a dad joke straight up. Sorry, bud.
Yep.
My dad approved. He likes meat.
Doug is so proud.
I'm very.
He's raised me well. He is the older brother. He's 20% responsible for me. So
Yeah. I mean,
I think if you and now like, this is the forever question, right? This is Wolverine versus the Blob. This is the immovable object versus the Incredible Force, right? And I think
Wolverine.
right, go Wolverine.
yeah.
Because I think offense wins because Dallas didn't have shit in that game. They didn't have
No.
shit in that game.
They looked awful.
They looked
awful.
And I mean, it's hard when you have, and this, we say that all the time, it's hard when you have to defend against the run and the pass, and they're both going to beat you, and they did.
Yep. I mean, some of the
Just
best
couldn't have
defenses
to do a
work.
better franchise.
Yeah.
Like, I love seeing Dallas lose. Like,
I love seeing Dallas lose.
like sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, Mark. I'm gonna have two examples because I was recently in Texas and recently in Boston, and
Oh,
talking to NFL fans, and they're fine, they're nice. It's off season. It's just like hearing just how disconnected from reality fans are in general because you don't hear it when it's you. You only hear it when you hear it from other people. And Cowboy fans that like he's talking smack to an Eagles fan. It's just like, dude, you have
sorry, man.
no business. You have no. And,
Yep.
and every person from Boston that I met on a cruise to Bermuda was just telling me how they were going to win the division. And it's just like, is this what it was like when you had Tom Brady and
Don't worry,
you're from
Tim,
Bills fans and you're just like,
Yeah.
they're there.
I am not. I am definitely not offended by that. Boston has some of the stupidest sports fans ever. Like they think everything is the end of the world sometimes. Like I mean, all this stuff. Like they want a lot of New England fans want Belichick to go. It's like hello, this
Yeah.
he did get you like 6 championships. So let's
Tom
not
Brady got you
forget
six.
that.
Get rid of him. Get rid of him.
And we're at time.
Actually, no, keep him. Let's
Good
keep him.
topic, guys.
As long as the Bills keep winning, right?
Right, yeah, that's true.
What am I talking about?
Anytime they pick a QB in the 6th round, though, I'm gonna be like, oh, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy.
Lightning doesn't
We
strike
have
the
our
same place twice,
generational
Pete.
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
It's Brock Purdy. All right, this dude's gonna go undefeated, win the Super Bowl. It's gonna be the best story you've ever heard.
That's
I
what
can't
it
wait
is.
for it.
Except he doesn't
Sorry,
look like a
Bills.
doofus in weird gym shorts. Anyway, we're done.
The
We're at
Tom
time.
Brady combine photo. I got
right.
you, John.
All right. Anyone?
All right.
Anyone? Next topic.
Oh, never mind. I had one and I lost it.
Do you have a next topic?
It sounds like one you've done before.
Yeah, that's,
It is.
I think that's
But my
sound like
Cockney
it
is
sounds
fucking.
exactly
My
the same.
Cockney's fucking great. So
All right. So every year.
Wait.
You all right, Tim? You need a minute?
Sorry.
Tim needs a minute.
Yeah, no, okay.
Well, for my
That was your
undeserved
Cockney
confidence.
accent?
No, it was very
that
bad.
Cockney accent?
Very bad.
John only has one voice that he can do.
I had a couple.
Is John the voice John can do well?
Yeah. Every year, NFL
Is John
teams
doing a voice?
have. All right. Every year, NFL teams have to deal with injuries amongst their players, with some lasting mere weeks and others putting them on the shelf for long term. Now, it was collectively bargained in 2021 that teams would play an extra regular season game and they would lose a preseason game so that the season wasn't extended. Now, a lot of people are blaming a shortened preseason on recent NFL injuries. So, everyone, do we believe there is any correlation in the shortened preseason to NFL injuries?
No.
Next topic.
I'm a solid no too. I think these guys just put so much stress on their bodies these days.
Yeah.
I think there's something to be said for dudes in the 80s just ate cheeseburgers all off season and showed up out of shape and out of weight, and they had some money to burn.
You mean like Zeke Elliott?
Yeah,
Just
work through that tubby phase and then be in prime shape for the playoff run. But these kids, they literally work out all year round. They're primed for an injury.
They do.
Just, like,
They do.
stressed to the max. They're ready to be. We push their bodies to the physical limits. Like, I think it's just we condition. We're stressing these people out, man.
I think there's something to be said about that. I mean, it's very well that their muscles may be bigger, stronger. Like these players are incredible now compared to how they were 20, 30 years ago. I mean, like if you rolled out the All Madden team from like 1990 against the current NFL, they would get their asses kicked. Except for Bruce Smith, he would still probably get like 5 sacks a game.
Berg was good.
Right. Maybe like Randall Cunningham, like some of those ridiculous people, right? They would stand out. But real quick, but all these muscles and conditioning, like Tim said, they're getting bigger. The bones and ligaments are still kind of the same, so something's got to give.
I think the biggest difference that we're seeing too, and this happens in baseball all the time, right? Baseball, pitchers get better and then hitters get better and then pitchers get better and then hitters get better. And I think that the defense is at a point where it's really frightening. I mean, and like in a scary way, where you got these guys who somehow are big and fast. That doesn't make any sense to me. And, like Bobby Wagner.
Genetic freaks.
Like
genetic freaks.
Aaron Donald's a scary man. Bobby Wagner's a scary man. All those big, giant, fast guys that get, 10 sacks a game. And you're just like, how is that even possible?
My favorite thing, by the way, of that was the soundbite from Geno Smith. They caught his microphone live in a game, and Aaron Donald was sprinting right at him, ready to kill him, and Geno Smith goes, "Oh my God!" Like as he right as the ball gets snapped. It's the most hilarious thing ever.
I mean, Jesus Christ, how are you supposed to be like smart and accurate when you're afraid for your life?
Yeah.
Oh my
your
God.
Actual life.
That is the
I can only
soundbite of the year for the NFL.
I can only imagine. I would probably drop a deuce if a 300-pound man came running straight at me. And I'd have that deer in the headlights look, and I'd just like, crap.
Would you like be cartoon run over? You would be like weirdly flattened.
Oh yeah. Really,
That's
I'd become two-dimensional, definitely.
And yet somehow you wouldn't get injured, but that player would.
I don't know. Well, I probably would.
They'd step on the turf
to be
ball
fair,
right?
Twist their ankle.
Yeah,
but that's an excellent point though. All these athletes are bigger and stronger, so the collisions that they're making are a lot harder and faster.
And I read something recently with the whole running back gate that it's really the only unprotected position. I mean, they're protected a little bit, but there are times
running into the battle.
Right, where there are
pretty
times
much.
where they're running by themselves, and the whole objective is to stop them. And like Devon Shane this last week, like the Giants' defense is terrible, but to stop his crazy 12 yards of carry thing he was doing, they just rolled over onto his knee, and his knee's fucked now.
Yeah.
I mean,
and to be fair, like one way to make them safer, you add on more equipment, right? But they're not going to want that because then they lose their speed.
Do you guys think the
know.
turf?
There's a way.
They won't even wear cups.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Actually, then again, I did play intramural ice hockey in goal without wearing a cup. So, man
That
up,
was like
everybody.
what Mac Jones was getting yelled at for cup checking dudes because they don't wear cups so they can they're more mobile, and Mac Jones is terrible, so he's a dirty player. And it's just like cup checking dudes.
For whatever
dude.
reason, he's become famous for flailing his arms, and he just happened to do like a little crotch punch.
That's funny.
YouTube.
Oh no, it's not.
And
It's
you'll-
not
Wait,
by
He just so
accident.
happened to do a
Yeah,
crotch punch.
That's his move.
Yeah, no,
Just
it's
so happened.
it's on purpose.
That's awesome.
I cannot confirm nor deny
He's like
the Mac Jones
completely
crotch punch.
accidentally punched you in the nuts when you were trying to murder me.
Oof.
I cannot confirm nor deny that.
Actually, wasn't there a player that tried to punch Josh Allen in the nuts and then he got all pissed off and like threw his helmet at him or threw a football at him? I don't know. There was some
Yeah,
weird
he,
stuff in a
like-
pile up there.
Yeah.
I
Where-
think we're,
where did Tim go?
probably
I
good
don't know.
because Tim's gone.
I
We
was
chased him off by Tim.
I was going to ask the question though for
Getting
this.
another drink.
Oh, for this injury thing. What do you guys think about the turf? Everybody's complaining about like inconsistent turf conditions in a lot
It
of
has nothing to do with the
stadiums.
turf.
A lot of the players want to go
I
over to
think
grass.
that it definitely
I'm
does.
sorry, it has nothing to do with the
Grass
turf.
has
I
the
mean,
same
literally,
statistics.
Travis Kelce,
Yeah,
who
okay.
injured himself last week, said it was the turf on his radio show.
But-
I mean,
Is it
Grass
be-
has the same exact injury statistics as turf does. They're identical.
is
There's no
that
change.
true? Because all of the news
100%.
currently is saying that it is not.
It was literally. I read it on ESPN this morning.
Huh.
They had the same exact studies, but that's funny. So it was like the AstroTurf was bad, and then they
Well,
went
yeah,
back
that
to
was really
grass,
bad.
And then the grass
I mean,
was
yeah,
bad,
you-
and
you
then they
have-
went
you-
to
if you have
turf,
shitty
now the turf is
grass,
bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
If you have
It's
shitty
just-
grass,
it's
then yeah,
constant
it's gonna
cycle.
I mean,
cost.
we all saw the Super Bowl, right?
We all saw the
and there's
Super
a
Bowl.
monetary impact too. The artificial turf is a one-time install. It's $1.25 million, somewhere around this.
Hmm.
Grass costs like $4 to $8 million a year to maintain.
It's
and
expensive.
to keep soft. And I just can't imagine NFL owners like actively going after something that costs
Yeah.
more.
No, I mean, the
so
reason that they do turf is that they don't have to maintain it. You don't even have to hire the guy who's paid to
Right.
maintain it, right?
So,
There's a different solution they'll come up with.
so the moral of this
There
topic
has to be.
to end it is all the players need to not work out as much and eat more cheeseburgers in the off season.
And
Everyone
also,
does.
fields
Right,
need
yeah.
to be made of
Life
trampolines.
advice.
Yes.
That's
Oh,
life
trampoline
advice.
football. Fuck yeah.
Oh,
I'd watch that.
They should do that in arena football. Why
Have you
not?
ever seen? Have you watched trampoline basketball?
I have watched trampoline basketball. Trampoline basketball is
It's
incredible.
exciting.
That's very
It's
exciting.
fun.
I would love to watch
It's
trampoline
very
football.
fun, Yeah.
I want football with like cybernetic implants and mandatory steroid use. I think that'd be great.
Oh, can I bring up a random topic that just occurred to me, like out of left field?
No.
Have you guys heard of? Have you guys heard of or have been to a Savannah Banana game?
We
Oh
have
my
talked about
God,
that.
yes.
We have talked about that.
You know Johnny Damon's a Savannah
have.
Banana?
Johnny Damon's on the Savannah Banana.
Have you been to a Savannah Banana game, Tim?
God,
No, I just learned about it on the internet, and it's this
I've
thing,
got news on it.
and it
Ooh.
looks.
We did a
incredible.
topic
It
on
looks-
it somewhere in season
We
one.
did. It's like
and
7
they're coming to
innings.
Buffalo, and of course,
Yeah, they
I'm out of
tore.
town,
Oh.
but
They tore.
like, it looks
Right.
so much fun. Like I was like, I didn't know
Well,
a Savannah
Bridget-
Banana game.
Bridget's on a list to randomly get picked to buy tickets. Like that's how crazy this is. Like you had to
Nice.
go on
Really?
a list to get on a list to get randomly picked to hopefully
It looks
buy
so
tickets.
fun.
I'm on that list too.
And I think the reason why they want to go is because the guys run around like topless or something.
Okay,
Like,
no.
that's what I heard. That's
It's
what
still,
I've been
That's
told.
it's still
bananas.
kind of baseball. Yeah, I think that's a different kind of banana.
Yeah. This has been True Facts with
Whoa.
Doug Feyes.
That's true.
That is a true
I think we
fact.
can end on different kind of banana. That was amazing. Pete, my
What I've
question
been
had
told.
nothing to
Yeah.
do with Pete, Mark's question, by the way.
Nothing to do with it.
No.
I literally have a straight up turf question, which is only tertiarily related.
Well, I tried to bring the turf into this one.
Really?
But it's
Alright.
it's actually funny because I thought that Mark's had.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the
mentioned in
I
it,
thought you were
too.
talking about the 49ers topic. My 49ers topic was completely different.
And
Well,
so's the turf topic.
well, you know what,
or
you
the
guys-
injury
That's
topic.
fine.
You know
It's
what-
fine. Pete's having a baby. Let it slide.
I'm not in top form. All
He's got
right.
baby brain.
Whose
Guys.
turn
He's
is
got
it?
Baby brain.
All right.
Well, it's my turn, but somebody has to do a next topic, and
Okay.
you guys shamed
Do
me out
one.
of next topicings.
I got
Take that
one.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it. Hey, John, you got a next topic?
That was better than
I'm
mine.
using- I'm using it. That was amazing.
It is.
You know
dad
what's
joke
weird?
themed. It is
You know what's
dad
weird?
joke themed.
Oh,
I don't think
yeah.
I saw Doug's lips moved.
Yeah, he's on a weird delay, so his lips move and then he speaks. That's awesome.
It's because of all the foul language. We have to have he's on a delay
Yeah.
so we can hit the dump button.
Doug, yeah, we definitely have that 7-minute delay on Doug only. Or
Definitely.
7-second delay, not
Yes,
7-minute delay.
7 minutes.
You can curse on this podcast.
No, I know. I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
fuck yeah.
No,
you
you can't fucking curse.
Yeah. No fucking cursing.
All right. Focus. Going to be here till midnight.
It's gonna be a long episode.
We don't
Awesome.
figure the fuck out.
Those are the best ones.
What happens
So-
when you guys have us on here?
So 5 weeks into the 2023 NFL season, and we are racing to the in-season trade deadline on 10/31. While it is still early, as Mark likes to remind us, it's not that early. And with some teams
pretty early.
already eyeing a mid-season push or ready to cash in their chips and begin their rebuild, there's talk of several major stars being available for this season's trade deadline, including Raiders star wide receiver Davante Adams, as well as Titans All-Pro Derrick Henry. With the loss of Derek Carr, we immediately saw Davante Adams sour to the Raiders organization. We are seeing in real time the Titans begin to move towards speedy rookie Tajay Spears and Derrick Henry being part of a committee? So, what do we think about the legitimacy of these rumors, and what teams would benefit from from these huge names?
I'm totally seeing Derrick Henry going because they've been
Yeah.
the Titans have tried on multiple occasions to trade him, and
this-
they're not
this
doing
is-
so well. I think he's making 12 million or something like that.
Why?
So
Why would you
because
want him?
I don't know.
why would you want him?
Yeah. he's
2
not
years
good
ago, I would have said
anymore.
hell
He's-
yeah, but it's
I would want him in the playoffs. He's built for the playoffs.
yeah.
He's built for the salad bar. He's gotta retire, man.
So
He's gotta
he
get
can,
off
yeah,
the
he can
field.
eat all the hamburgers that he wants for up until December, and then January I'll
Yeah.
use him to.
6 years max. Running backs retire. Just there's no point, man. They're worn out. They're
Well, he's 29 now,
battering
too, and he's been a bell cow his whole career.
It's
and,
sad, but
I
it's
mean,
it's true.
rams. We don't pay. We don't protect running backs. They're just.
It's
They're
insane.
a dime a
though.
dozen now.
But like
They're a dime a dozen.
Tim does have a point, and we had many topics already in the podcast about running back gate and just trying to figure out like why their values decrease. But yes, but
So
their stats hit a wall when you get to
Yeah.
age 28. It's
I
it's
haven't-
really consistently weird.
there was something interesting that came out last week that we were supposed to talk about, but we didn't. So the Colts ended up extending Jonathan Taylor.
And they gave him a good
Isn't
contract.
that surprising?
That is
He
a little
actually got a
surprising,
pretty
yeah.
big. He got a pretty big contract.
But
He got a
actually.
pretty big contract.
Isn't he
Yeah.
still on the young side though? He may still have 2 or 3 years
Yeah.
left.
He's 24.
Especially compared to all of us,
Okay,
he's young.
yes, yeah, he's super. Yeah, well, yeah, obviously. I could go out
Will
there right
Jonathan
now and
Taylor
play.
Outside of whom? Name a running back that's been good after they got paid.
That's a good point.
Adrian Peterson.
Barry
but that was a long
Sanders?
time ago.
Oh wait, that was like 30
Was
years ago.
Derrick Henry good 1 year after he got paid?
Oh,
maybe?
absolutely, absolutely. I think he
1
got
year?
his 2,000 yard season the first year after. Oh, maybe he got re-signed after the 2,000 year.
Yeah,
Think about it.
yeah,
So
that's- that's-
even if he's the one, he's the exception, right? He's not the rule. So
You're
but Jonathan
you're
Taylor
absolutely right
much-
about that. You're absolutely right
Jonathan
about
Taylor,
that.
much younger though, much younger. And will he be the next exception?
Mhm.
I mean,
With
he
Christian
Without
McCaffrey's
Anthony
getting
Richardson.
paid. I just looked it up.
Oh,
But-
Christian McCaffrey's
Oh,
so gonna
McCaffrey,
get paid.
okay.
Unicorn.
He's so gonna get paid, but he's
Yeah.
also
No, he's
he
getting
gets used
paid.
so much. No, he gets used so much that he's due to get hurt again.
But
Remember,
see-
he did get hurt a decent amount in Carolina.
I almost
He
feel
has,
like
he has
that's
30 million
different-
guaranteed. I think he might be the richest running back.
Isn't that almost like a different position though? The way they used McCaffrey, the way the Saints used Kamara in his prime, the way the Bills used Thurman Thomas. Well, okay, they still ran him into the ground, but the fact that you get as many
He was
yards
an outside
pass
receiver.
catching, yeah, like you get as many yards pass catching as you do running. It's a multi-threat, and McCaffrey is the best that
Derrick
ever,
Henry
that's
has
ever
the
been.
4th highest contract value of average a year. McCaffrey has number 1, and then Kamara's number 2, and Jonathan Taylor's new contract is number 3 at $14 million a year.
How old is Taylor?
Jonathan Taylor, you said, is 24.
You
I
said
looked it up.
24, right?
24?
He's 24.
He's young.
Yeah.
He's still got 4 years,
I
probably.
mean, you can't be a bell cow back and play football into your 30s. It just doesn't work. His body's just not made like that. I mean,
Frank Gore was the last one. That's the one I can remember. He played
Oh.
into well into.
I mean,
his
and how
30s.
many touches
Yeah.
do the top guys get? Like, how many touches does Christian McCaffrey get a game? How many
He's-
He gets
touches
at least
did
20.
Yeah, but
Right?
he is the unicorn though.
When you think about it, though,
You think about it.
20 big hits. 20 big hits a game.
Well,
That's a lot.
Also receptions. He gets
Yep.
several targets a game.
That's-
He's like a
That's
6
true.
to 10 target guy. So
And
that's
keep
more
in
than-
mind, running backs used to get a lot more back in the day. I mean, the heyday of like Marshall Faulk and Priest Holmes, they were getting 30, 40 touches a game.
True.
Mm-hmm.
But back then, I feel like
Maybe-
running backs were the most athletic, best in shape people on the field.
I mean,
Yeah,
theoretically, they
Thomas.
still are, though, right?
Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
Mm. Right. Right.
Guy's a freak.
Yep.
Yeah, that guy is a freak.
If we just woke up one day and Aaron Donald was like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm from Krypton," we'd be like, "Oh, cool, that makes a lot of sense."
Yeah.
Right. That
okay.
tracks.
Get it now.
Got it.
Makes
Thanks
sense.
for being nice.
So
Thanks for being nice.
I would as a Bills fan, I would you said Devontae Adams is on the block. Okay, we'll take him.
He's gonna get traded. He'll get traded.
He'll get traded, too, because
My-
he doesn't want to be in Vegas
My
without his
dream
buddies.
of my
He
dream
just
of
doesn't-
I think-
D-Hop coming to the Bills failed, so let's get Devontae Adams instead.
I see Kirk
I
Cousins
know.
getting traded too.
I know.
I do. I see Kirk Cousins getting traded.
I don't know where.
25 million.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. But I can dream.
I
Because,
tried to convince
A lot of
Lisa
those
to
teams
trade
are
me
ready
Kirk
to go.
Cousins.
and really, we talked about this last week. Every 1-4 team needs to decide when it's time to think about Caleb Williams. Every single one of them does.
Yeah.
Well, don't forget about the 0-4 teams.
Or the 0-4 teams, right? Every team that could theoretically land last has to think about it. Even the fucking Giants, who just paid their guy $40 million for some god knows what reason.
I don't know.
How many years is that, Johnny?
It's too many. Too many.
What, Danny Dimes? Danny Dimes, I think, got 4 years.
He did. He got 4 years.
On this podcast forever, every quarterback salary. Oh, you can tell we're watching the same thing because my screen, all of our screens are flashing at the same sync. But
Danny Dimes is our QB measuring stick.
It's funny. Yep. No, he is. It is.
All right, we got to move on. We
Yeah.
got to move on.
All
We
right.
just got there, Mark. It was like literally like 10 seconds ago.
I don't know. My timer went off a minute ago. That is a true fact.
It's go time. I think it's Tim's turn for next
How
time.
about a dad joke?
I can do it.
Ooh,
I'll do
good
it.
job.
Oh wait.
Go ahead.
Bad job.
Go ahead, Tim.
God, this is so stupid. Into the next topic. Shoot, fly boys.
Oh.
Yes.
All right, I'm curious how this topic is going to go because it's time to talk about a sport we rarely talk about, ice hockey. Now, the NHL kicked off its 2023-24
Shit
season,
about hockey.
and they started with a doozy in the recent #1 overall pick, Connor Bedard, and the Chicago Blackhawks facing his idol, Sidney Crosby, and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Bedard is the next big thing in hockey, getting comparisons to not only Sid the Kid, but the great one, Wayne Gretzky himself. Another story includes the world's greatest expansion team, the Las Vegas Knights, trying to defend their title, but they are not the odds-on favorite as the Colorado Avalanche are actually the frontrunners. And naturally, our Sabres fans will want to talk about how this year will be different, and they will break the current longest playoff drought in the league. So, everyone, what storylines for this upcoming NHL season are we looking forward to?
I just looked up a
You can
picture of
talk-
Connor Bedard. He is like a baby.
He's
Can-
18.
Can the
Does he
Sabres
shave yet?
please make the playoffs?
We can't even get past opening night though. We have to talk about the most cringy things I have ever seen, and that is the linesman doing like the introduction to the NHL. Like the Connor Bedard Sidney Crosby game was like Sidney, Mr. Crosby, Captain
That was
Penguin.
so awkward. That was so awkward.
Another good happy 50th season, and Connor Bedard, you're good too. You know, like good job, good
Oh, no.
Packy, go. And it was just so cringy. Like
That sounds
Lightning one was
terrible.
like it's going to be
They're both-
electric.
That's really bad.
Give him a break. They're both Canadian.
Yeah.
The NFL has The Rock out there making up things like Rampede, and like we. Like,
All right, first of all, that's the
linemen.
XFL, not the NFL.
No, he actually
no,
he
yeah.
opened up the NFL.
The 2022
Oh,
season.
In
all
the
right.
Rams? Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
I remember that.
The NFL gets The Rock. They get like linesmen who like he's a history teacher at his day job,
Right.
you know, and then has to go ref a hockey game.
Well, keep
That
in
guy
mind,
just-
a
that guy
high-paying
just make a
NHL
snow
contract is
angel.
like $8 million.
That guy made a snow angel on an NFL field. That's hilarious.
Nice. Speaking of,
Way to stay on topic, John.
I don't.
yes.
I don't know a lot about hockey.
Oh man,
you
the Sabres
guys.
lost 5-1.
Let the Sabres fans talk.
Yeesh.
I mean, I'm excited for the Sabres. I'm more excited for the 39 new food items that the Sabres pull out this year. They have a 2-foot nacho platter.
Really?
Ooh. Yeah.
Okay.
Tell us more.
2 foot. It
Wow.
is 2 feet of nachos.
That's amazing.
And it's not like just junk nachos. It's like real chips, braised cracked pork rib, beans. Oh, hi, Dino. Beans.
I might want to go
rice,
to a Sabres game now.
queso, Like,
I mean,
it's
Where are we
just-
going?
I will
Fuck yeah.
say,
It's unreal.
yeah. Scott and I are
And we
buddies.
gotta get.
Go ahead, Pete.
I'll be quick.
Yeah,
No, our buddies, good friend of ours, Scott, and I went to. This was one of Jack Eichel's. I think it was his rookie year because I was like, I got to see this guy. So that was the last game I've been to. It's been a while, but it was a really fun time. We found the basement weird dive bar underneath Pearl Street Pub, and I was like, this place is amazing.
Brawler's Deli.
I didn't know it existed. We were like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, we were in
good
there. I'm like,
sandwiches.
there's a staircase that just goes down. There's no sign. And we're like, let's check it out. And that was our pregame was upstairs and then down there to get some subs, and then we went to the game. But it's a good experience. I love the hockey. It just feels like different than football or even baseball. It's its own thing.
I like arena
I
sports.
took Nora to
A
her
li-
first hockey game last year. She loved it.
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
Arena
the
sports are
kids' day,
fun.
which they do a lot.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, it's a lot of fun. Tim, we gotta go. We gotta get back into our birthday hockey game. We used to
Oh, yeah.
when we get. It was like a weird
When
transition.
we
Like, what do we get
were
each other
young.
for our birthdays? And we were like, well, let's go out to dinner. And like, and our birthdays are like a month apart, so it would be sometime in like March or April. We'd go out to dinner and
Yes, there you
go to a
go.
hockey game. We gotta do
It's
that
nice.
again.
That
It's
just
one of the
sound
only
good.
places you can get to on public transportation, so it's kind of, at least for me. Don't know the Doug from the South Towns. Have fun driving.
It's always rough getting in there.
You still have to drive to the train. It's not like your train goes by your house.
You could walk home. It's a mile and a half.
That's
You
true.
could do it.
I've
I've
walked
done it.
that
We've
mile.
done it.
It's a
We've done it
scary
in the
mile.
winter. We've done it in the winter.
I know.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
we made
It's a really
Lisa pick
nice-
us up.
There's a little nice. On the way home, there's like one of those like a dumpy bar, like a dank, like a Moe's from
Yeah,
the Simpsons
That's a good
trademark.
bar.
It's a cash only bar. It's like all wood.
Mhm.
You know, they have a jukebox that has been updated with like records. It's just a, they make a good steak sandwich that is covered in grease from like 1947. It's like it's
Nice.
a perfect bar.
Whenever I think of a dive bar, I always think of the Ruck.
The Ruck is in a
You
dive
guys
bar
remember the
anymore.
Ruck?
The
I know
Ruck.
the Ruck is not a dive bar anymore.
But it
but
used to be
No,
a
it's
it
dive
used to
bar.
be dark and dingy.
Actually, I think it's too cool for me. I
That
just
was-
went by the other day.
The Ruck
Yeah.
was the place though that like as soon as New York banned cigarettes when we were in college from like indoor bars, and we're like, no, wait, no, bring them back. This place smells terrible. The cigarette smell was covering up like way worse.
You know what I
smells.
remember about the Rug though? I remember the what's it face? The
I was like, wait,
the
Peter's
shuffleboard.
never
The
shuffleboard.
The
The
shuffleboard
shuffleboard.
table
Yep.
at the Rock. It's the
That-
first time I played shuffleboard. I
I
think.
hate cigarette smoke, but that was the one time it was acceptable because it was covering up even worse stuff.
I might have a shuffleboard table.
Yeah, Tim
Hell
has.
yeah.
I gotta.
Tim, this bar
Yeah,
had. This is
$6
actually the first
sweater.
time I ever played shuffleboard was at the Ruck.
Me too. Me
Yep.
too.
And it was a table.
I
just
think I
like
have a
yours.
picture of that actually.
Really?
You probably do.
somewhere.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, I miss shuffleboard. We got to get back down to Tim's amazing basement bar there. And
What's it face? Even though
Basement.
the beer garden, the Wolf's Beer Garden closed, a new beer garden opened in Wolf's Beer Garden in Troy, and so I think the shuffleboard is still there.
oh, they better have brought it back.
And also, we're at time. We're at time.
It's okay. We
Yeah, the time.
Yes, we're at the time.
we went from
That-
hockey
are you
game
ready-
to
are you ready-
shuffleboard.
Are you ready for the next topic?
That's really good, Mark.
All right.
And so this one's for Jeffem. He shamed me into not talking about baseball during the
Hi,
baseball
Jeffem.
playoffs. So hey, Jeffem. And so
We talked about baseball last week.
We did not a lot, not enough.
Not enough, I guess.
So the 2023 Baltimore Orioles finished the season with the best record in the American League by 11 games and the second best record in baseball. However, as this longtime Yankee fan can tell you, a regular season record means very little in the playoffs. So the fifth-seeded Texas Rangers, who looked to be unstoppable, winning 5 games in a row against the fourth-seeded Tampa Bay Rays, and the first-seeded Orioles Both teams having significantly better records. The AL East actually broke a funny historic record this season. They were the first division. The first record was that they were the best division at 449 and 361. That's a 554 percentage. The second was the most losses without a win in the postseason at 0 and 7. Womp womp. So can we attribute this collapse to youthful teams on a big stage, the quality of the Rangers pitching rotation, or a little bit of both?
I don't think it has to do with either, actually. So this was actually potentially something that I was gonna bring up. There now, with the new playoff rules, there is now a third wild card team in each league, and so there's 6 total teams. 2 teams each get a bye, so the top 2 teams get a bye, and they extended the wild card round to be a best of 3 series now. So there is a long layoff between the last game and the first playoff game for the 1 and 2 seeds. And as we all know, you want to be momentum is huge in baseball, especially when it comes to hitting. Because the worst thing that you can do as a hitter is to just stop hitting. And you can only do so much with game simulation. You need real games in order to stay consistent with hitting and with pitching for the most part too. Because you're on that regular schedule when you're a pitcher every 5 days. So I think that has actually more to do with it than experience personally. So keep in mind, it's not just the Orioles, but the Braves could potentially lose. They have the best record. The Dodgers got swept by the Diamondbacks.
Oh yeah, wow.
Those were 3 of the top teams.
And the number 1
seeds,
seeds,
yeah.
and the number 1 seeds last year too. It's the same thing happened last year. So 2 years in a row with the new format, and the number 1 seeds aren't winning.
I'm okay. I'm okay with the extra wild card team, but it shouldn't be a best of 3 series. You are now resting your best teams too long, and they become cold. And you see what's going on now.
It used to be a play-in, right?
Used to be a play-in.
Yeah.
For
a while.
Okay. Yeah.
What's up, Pete?
No, I was gonna say I feel like it should be at least best of 5. Like I know.
No. So what we're saying is
we're talking about the very first round.
They added. So all baseball series is of 3, best of 5, best of 7, right? And so as it gets harder, they go from best of 5 to best of 7. However, previously to the last 2 years, they used to just have, because there's 3 divisions in each league, so they used to have the 2 worst teams play each other for a chance to be in the playoffs. The 2 worst best teams, so the wild card teams. And so that was 1 game. And so to make more money, to have more baseball games, they decided to turn that into a best of 5 series.
And that's what pushed the whole schedule back.
Pushed the whole schedule back. And so now the number 1 and number 2 seeds, right, the 2 best teams in every league, are pretty much taking a week off between the end of the regular season and the beginning of the ALDS or the NLDS, was the divisional series, right? It's their first. And so what we're saying, and it's actually pretty proven by Tim.
We lost Tim.
Pretty proven is what we're saying is those teams aren't winning. They aren't winning. They're taking a break and they're not winning. So
Tim, come back.
It's okay.
We lost him.
Can I tell you,
Timmy, come back.
and I apologize for any baseball fans, but baseball is so inconsequential.
Yeah, I'm trying.
I had no clue that there was playoffs going on.
And we're
That's
back.
funny. Well, also, here's the thing. It's a problem with baseball, but most big market teams are the number 1 and number 2 or number 3 seeds. And all of the big markets in the last 2 seasons have been knocked out in the first round. All of them. Right? Who cares about the fucking Arizona Diamondbacks, right? And they're in the NLDS. They're probably going to be in the championship series. I mean, it's crazy, man. It's a crazy world we live.
And Doug, in your defense, the closest team that you really have is the Blue Jays. And they're usually not that good.
I mean,
they're usually not that good.
Followed Major League Baseball, and then with the Bills being as good as they are, you kind of just forget.
That's true. I will say, I love how the Blue Jays have become the greatest second generation team in all of baseball. They seem to have everyone's son that I grew up watching baseball. Like they have Vlad Guerrero Jr. They got Bo Bichette, who's Dante Bichette's son from the Rockies.
Vlad Jr.
Don't they also have Craig Biggio's son too?
I think so.
So many second generation players on that team.
Damn. Does Ken Griffey Jr. have a junior? That could also be on the team.
I don't believe so, but
Okay.
that would be funny.
Kenneth Walker the third on the Seahawks. He
That's
took his
true.
wife's
Yeah.
name.
Right.
That's funny.
I don't know how it works. You don't carry
When I was a kid,
I
the only
gotcha.
reason I knew baseball playoffs were going on is when the Simpsons weren't playing on Fox because they were playing baseball games.
Oh yeah.
And then
Keep
the
in mind-
Treehouse of Horror episode got pushed to November.
Keep in mind now the late '80s, early '90s. While I understand that you had some pretty good Bills teams, there are also some very good Blue Jays teams those years. In fact, they won the World
So
Series
good.
in '92, '3,
Hmm.
one of those
It's
years.
close.
Clemens?
No, they didn't. This
No.
was before Clemens.
So wait a second though. So we have a AAA team, the Buffalo Bisons, and weren't they the farm
Bison,
team for
yeah.
like the Cleveland Indians for a while? Or a team formerly known as that, at least.
They're
What
the
is
Guardians
it?
now.
Cleveland
Guardians.
Guardians.
That's
The
right.
team formerly
They
known
were.
as
No, they're just the
They've
Cleveland
been
Guardians. We have
just-
to be politically correct.
that. Okay.
Yeah, I think right now they're the Blue Jays, but I think before Blue Jays they're the Mets.
Okay.
And then they
Yeah,
might have been the
you've had a-
Guardians
you've
before
had a
the
string of-
Mets.
They've kind of been bounced around, right?
You can tell by the color of their uniforms who they're the farm team for, because when they were at the Mets, it was like slight green.
Oh, okay.
Their
So-
uniforms now
the
it's like
Pirates.
it's blue.
Way back in the day.
Pirates
Before the,
walk-
before the,
when we were
Indian-
kids,
before the
they were
command, Guardians, they were the Pirates
Oh yeah.
in the early
Yeah.
80s.
Yeah.
So an
So-
interesting story: the Tri-City Valley Cats, who is the minor league team in Albany.
They're like the
Um,
minor though, aren't they? Double A.
Well, they're the National League, right? And so, like, if you think
Oh,
about
okay.
the league in
I think they're in the same league as the Savannah Bananas.
right, pretty much. They aren't in a division,
But they
not
don't
single A,
wear
not double A,
shirts,
not
right?
triple A. But they have a loose association with the Blue Jays. However, they are suing the Blue Jays because their loose association, being that they're not single A,
Wait, the Valley Cats are suing the Blue Jays?
yeah,
This is
They-
amazing.
because they want their players to be able to have a chance in the majors, but none of them do because they're not single A players. And so they want the Blue Jays to let them go so that they can find a team association, but they won't. They refuse to. So that's what they're suing for.
Interesting.
Man, so we lost our
Heard,
arena football team, the Albany Empire, because of
They're coming back though.
Antonio Brown.
They're going to be the
Brown, right.
Firebirds. We are.
Oh,
They are
okay.
rebirthing themselves.
Is Tom Grady going to be on that team?
I hope so. I fucking love.
He's
got to
come back.
All right, we're at time.
But,
I did reach out to Tom Grady, by the way, on the book face.
That's
And
amazing.
he ignored you.
He ignored me.
Oh.
Tom Grady, you can be on the show anytime you want. You're
Yes.
my hero.
All right, who's got the next topic?
Grady?
Yes.
Yeah,
He's
Yeah,
number
yeah, another
12
dad joke.
star arena football player of the Albany Empire, and basically our poor man's version of Tom Brady.
Yeah, he's off-brand Tom Brady. He's
Yep.
like he's like lucky.
He's Bizarro Tom Brady.
He's
He
like
is.
Lucky cereal that you get at the grocery store because
Yep.
you want Lucky Charms, but you can't afford it.
The Rue 21 of Tom Brady is that?
Yes,
We could go all night with this.
I remember that.
All right, we got to move on though. Who's got the next topic?
Okay.
I have a dad joke
Okay.
transition. What did the ocean say to the beach?
What?
I don't know.
Nothing. It just waved.
Hey, Morgan, you're gonna press the buttons every time.
And
It's
that's
making
the
us so
next
happy.
You should just use that as the next topic. Peach says, "I'll just get on the next topic."
Tim's
Anyway.
so mad.
Tim is slowly dying inside.
All right, I can't wait. All right, let me get through this because I can't wait to see you guys' reactions to this topic. Pete, I think you know what's coming.
Oh, no.
So I was watching Jimmy Kimmel the other night, not a sponsor, and his guest was Whitney Cummings. Now, for those that don't know, she is a comedian known for her pretty raunchy comedy. And she's also a staple for the celebrity roast that they do. Now, she went on to say that Comedy Central, who used to air them, ultimately decided not to anymore because of the censors. I later learned that the roasts now appear on OnlyFans TV, which is their version of a TV streaming service. Now, while I prompted Pete with this, and I
Yes.
immediately pictured him doing a spit take like in those classic TV sitcoms,
Mhm.
which coincidentally you cannot view on OFTV.
Right.
But to explain to our listeners and viewers.
Wait. Like, can we just focus on
let me finish.
Spit takes on OFTV because you just said it, so we got to talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
don't go there. It's gonna...
OFTV is a free video streaming service, and as far as I can tell, there's no extra subscriptions or payments that you need to make. But it's all it is a streaming platform with a bunch of video content on there, and it's for the most part it's got different genres on it. There's some comedy, there's some dramas, but it's a bunch of no-name people that are on there. Now, so everyone, what do we think about an OnlyFans TV streaming service?
It's the stupidest
What's
fucking thing I've
OnlyFans?
ever heard.
To be fair, when I was reviewing the topics,
I'm sorry, it's so fucking stupid.
Yeah. To be fair, when I was reviewing the topics, and I read that really quickly, and I thought it said, "What do people think of my OnlyFans streaming service?" Like Mark's, I was like, oh, this is new to me.
That's much more interesting.
Mark, I would love.
Mark, if you got an OnlyFans, can we?
If these
Patreon
these balls could suck after dark.
Oh no!
Oh,
No, that sounds gross.
wow.
Damn.
I mean, what is the fucking purpose?
It's a poor man's YouTube. That's essentially what it is. It's a poor man's YouTube.
But we have YouTube already, and it's free.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
It's,
why?
and so is this
But
OnlyFans.
YouTube is no
Wait.
longer the free bastion of like stupid videos that it used to be. It's become too polished, too professional, and too many ads.
This is going to be
Has
the
it?
same thing where every
YouTube's
once in a
great.
while every once in
is
a while
great.
you're just going to find a video you want to watch and you're like, oh, it's on Vimeo, not a sponsor. Like, why is it just on YouTube? And then you're like, I really wanted to watch this one clip from this one show, from this one TV program that I watched when I was 12. Like, who doesn't love Dino Saucers? Not a sponsor.
Oh, dude,
Dino
good callback.
Saucers.
I remember that one.
Each
It's not always on YouTube. Not a sponsor. But
I mean, I at the very least, I think I want to at least see these roasts on OFTV.
Yeah.
They're always
That's
I'm
why
sorry,
you're
usually
going
pretty
OnlyFans,
funny.
Mark.
I
They're
mean,
usually pretty funny.
I'm just gonna go there. Her name is Whitney Cummings.
Mark's like, I go to OnlyFans to watch the comedy.
Did you know Whitney Cummings is
pretty funny,
president? Oh, I'm sorry, is pregnant.
Ah.
And so she was trying to think of baby names, and then she was trying to think of these baby names along with her last name Cummings, and she was like, "No, I can't do that." And there was like one legit like porn star that there was like one name she really liked, and then I guess she looked up that name, and he's like the greatest porn star ever.
Oh no.
Can we just talk about how great porn is? Isn't porn great?
Well, this is why we were trying to get back to Mark's OnlyFans.
All right, oh, yeah, let's go. Yeah, let's change over to our OnlyFans account now.
Tell me more about your OnlyFans.
No, so all right.
my
So going back
God.
to the topic, OnlyFans TV does seem to essentially be just another kind of YouTube. You guys should try and go on it.
No.
It's a
No.
completely different domain, John.
Honey, why are you on OnlyFans? I'm on there for the comedy.
Yeah. The sophisticated new content.
I only read the articles.
Yes.
Someone named.
So you
Cummings
guys already
is
know
on
all the
there?
excuses.
Yeah,
You don't
I
know
will-
who Whitney Cummings is, Doug?
I've seen
know
TV.
I
I know
definitely know-
excuses.
Yeah, I definitely know her name. She wasn't on like one of Chelsea Handler's people that were on like her show back in the day, was she?
No,
Yes.
not.
She's a
Oh,
Chelsea
she was?
Handler She is a Chelsea
She was?
Handler person.
That's what I thought. I was like, I
She
knew,
had-
I recognized.
She
her
had
from
a
something.
short-lived, you know how they give the comedians the shows that are named after
Very
themselves?
short-lived.
Oh,
She had a
she was the
short-lived-
Whitney show, right?
There's
Yeah.
a fucking Whitney Cummings. Her name was
Yeah.
Whitney.
She also wrote Two Broke Girls. That was actually
did.
on for like 6 seasons, I think.
She did. That is her
That's
claim
a
to
great
fame. That
show.
show did
Okay.
well, but Kat Deely is great. I mean, empirically, right?
Okay, I thought.
And
I
actually,
I thought I knew.
Kelly
her, yeah.
Coco has become kind of great.
Oh, absolutely. She's a
she-
critically acclaimed actress now.
She is a critically acclaimed actress. She actually the story of Flight Attendant is before Kelly Coco was, while Kelly Coco was on Big Bang Theory, and she was sort of famous. She bought the book that Flight Attendants is based off of because she was like, "This is going to be great. I want to make this one day." And now that she's a known name enough, she just literally pitched it to HBO. She's like, "I want to be in it."
That's a great
'Cause I'm
show, by
fucking
the
crazy.
way.
Wow.
Yeah, Flight Attendant's a great
It's
show.
a really good. Yep.
So
She's also on another show on Peacock. It's based on a true story where they do a podcast, like a true crime podcast, and what their co-host is an actual serial killer.
Oh yes.
Oh, you know
I
what?
saw
I
that.
totally saw the promo for that. I like Peacock. I
Yes.
watched a thing on Peacock called Wolf Like Me with
Oh yeah, Josh Gad and
Josh Gad, which
Isla
is
Fisher, right?
I just
Very
have the
good.
version that has the cheap like with ads.
Too many
thing,
ads.
but
Too
it-
many ads.
I know, but it.
Oh, I
don't wanna pay for
I
more
paid
than
the
that.
extra $5. I
Yeah,
paid
me
the extra
too.
$5 for no ads.
Me too. Too many ads. And we watched WWE on it, which is the reason I keep it because Jamie likes wrestling.
Okay, so here's a very important question then. So, Coco's character in the flight as the flight attendant versus Beth
Coco.
Dutton.
Coco.
Yes, Coco versus Beth Dutton.
Kaylee Cuoco.
Kaylee Coco. John
She's
said
not
Coco.
she's not like
Coco.
she's not Coco the gorilla.
Oh,
She's an actress.
Close enough.
yeah, close enough. Anyway,
who is
her
it?
character,
Who
the
is
flight
who-
attendant versus Beth Dutton from wow, why am I blanking? Yellowstone. I don't know if you're
I haven't
familiar
seen
with that show.
Yellowstone.
Oh,
Oh,
that's also on Peacock. Really good
I
show.
don't have time for you right now.
But I swear, both of them could just endlessly, like, it could be an entire episode of the two of them drinking vodka, like, nonstop. And you get to the end of the episode, and both of them would still be standing somehow.
Yeah,
I don't
she
know.
has an alcohol problem in the flight attendant.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and we're
Although-
out of time.
Yep.
I love
Nice
how
much
she
drunk
drinks
history.
she drinks like a bottle that looks like Smirnoff, but it's not Smirnoff. Like they could have easily just gotten Smirnoff to be a sponsor, right?
Also, her ringtone in that was really funny. We looked it up. It was like some
Marna.
80s song.
Nice. That's cool.
Anyway,
I have one for you.
okay.
Do a
Oh,
rockapella.
next. Oh.
You fucked
Oh,
it
did I
up,
mess you
Mark.
up? I'm sorry, Tim.
Fucked it up.
Oh, next topic. Real original.
Nice.
All right. Are you ready, Doug?
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me break out my notes.
I'll be back.
All right. So, we have to talk about it. So Disney Plus just wrapped Ahsoka. It's now 5th television series of the Star Wars live-action franchise. And Ahsoka tells us the events that are happening in the universe after the conclusion of the season 3 of The Mandalorian, in the time between Star Wars episodes 6 and 7. So the first 2 episodes of Ahsoka had 829 million minutes of viewing in the United States in that week, which translates, obviously, into 8.29 million views. A week finale aside, in my personal opinion, Ahsoka is my favorite of the live-action TV series under Andor, and does a good job of being a live-action continuation of the animated series Rebels, which had a very successful 4-season run. So unfortunately, because nobody's caught up, without getting into too much of the details, what are your feelings about Ahsoka, the state of the Star Wars universe, and what's up next?
You know, I did appreciate that series too. I'm gonna have to ask Doug this question. I think I'm very confused with all of these like little mini series because I understand why they're all important and kind of I understand where they fall in the timeline, but these all seem like very important. That like how are they all kind of functioning separately and they don't mention the others unless they have, and I haven't been paying attention. I don't know, Doug, is that a thing? At
They
all?
mentioned the others,
Oh.
and actually in Ahsoka they
Right.
mentioned the events of Mandalorian season 3, like as they happened. I think
But
the
the-
idea is that the galaxy is very big, and
Mhm.
like Din Djarin, the
alright.
Mandalorian, is aware of Ahsoka's existence, and Ahsoka knows
Well,
about. Other
I'm more talking. So who I can't remember. I'm blanking. The big bad guy in Asuka was who? What was his name?
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka. Sorry,
General Thrawn.
General
General Thrawn.
Grand Admiral Thrawn.
So-
Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Grand Admiral. So
He's a Grand Admiral.
Grand
Doug.
Admiral.
he seems to be he's like a big name on the dark side, right? How come this is the first time I've heard of
Well,
him?
because if you've watched Ahsoka, he's in a completely different galaxy.
That's the only reason why he hasn't been mentioned in any other
Oh,
Star Wars.
I
thing?
mean, galaxies
Because-
are pretty big. They take a while to get across.
Because
He's
he
in
has not been back.
don't be
and
bringing
actually-
physics into Star
So
Wars.
actually, here's the deal. He was mentioned in Mandalorian season 3 a
Okay.
number of times, but he literally got brought to a different galaxy by one of the characters in Rebels, and he has just been there, stuck for 10 years.
Could you imagine if they like in Return of the Jedi, or like meanwhile this super arch Grand Admiral, and then they cut to him and it's just like black space, and there's like one speck that's like in the horizon that never changes, and that's the galaxy they're trying to get to.
So he got moved at the beginning of the rebellion. So it wasn't even like the major parts of the rebellion with like Luke Skywalker and everything. It was like when the rebellion was being born.
Hmm.
So he was already moved to another galaxy, before
So,
the
And Doug, I'm not caught up on Rebels yet, but when does Rebels conclude in the scope of 4, 5, and 6?
It concludes right up to like almost like the day before the Battle of Yavin.
So that's the last episode. Grand Admiral Thrawn gets
Right.
moved.
I thought it went up to Rogue One, Doug. I thought it ended before Rogue One.
Rogue One, right? When Rogue One is right before.
That's true, right? That's where we get the plans, the weakness for the Death Star.
Right. Yeah, and then it leads up to the battle. Yeah.
So then the reason that Grand Admiral Thrawn is not part of the original series is because he's already gone.
Right. Yes.
That makes sense.
Yes. So,
and there's no mention of
him? Kind of just put. No. Well, okay. Again,
the entire series Rebels is about him.
I mean, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, you to get all this new like universe in perspective, you have to kind of look at where it started from. So just picture you're a Star Wars kid. You grew up in the 80s. You went to see
and your name is Dave Filoni.
Hold on.
Okay.
So all original theaters. You grew up, you became a writer, and you have an obsession with cowboy hats. And you get your dream job working with George Lucas, writing movies and TV shows. And then Disney buys Star Wars, and Disney introduces you to Money John Favreau, and you guys become best friends. And they say, we want to make this bigger. What do we do? And they take all their toys, they throw them on the table, and they come up with TV shows based on basically everything they dreamed of as kids. So what Disney Plus has allowed is this expanded universe beyond just the Luke Skywalker story. Now, granted, Luke Skywalker is still part of this universe because it takes place after Return of the Jedi. Luke Skywalker is recreating the Jedi Order, hasn't become a cranky old man drinking milk from these weird things on the beach.
Fish cows.
And
fish cows.
Right, fish cows. So what this is building up to is there's a lot like Thrawn is from a trilogy that was written in the late 80s by Timothy Zahn, which was called Heir of the Empire. So it takes place after Return of the Jedi, and the Emperor's dead, but then there's this Grand Admiral Thrawn, no one heard of, but then there was a whole plan in place. If the Emperor died, they would create Bones of the Empire, which is kind of where you got that from, the Return of Skywalker, where the hell that show is called.
I was going to say, because I know they, sorry, real quick, and this might tie into what you're saying, is like there were so many books written that were really good in the Star Wars universe. And I remember part of like episode 7, 8, and 9, or when Disney kind of owned them, is they said, those no longer count. But it sounds like they're still taking a lot of influence from them.
That trilogy of books was probably the most popular storyline of the books after the original trilogy movies. So with that character being so well known in the Star Wars legends, it was just waiting to be recreated. So they brought him into the Rebels cartoon. There's a whole book series written on that character in this universe. And then with bringing him back with the Ahsoka series, what Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau is doing is they're creating their own little universe. It's kind of like a side to the Star Wars universe everyone knows. They're creating their own. They're basically leading up to a huge movie where Avengers type movie where all these main characters from all these TV shows come together, fight on, and you're going to have Luke Skywalker in it. You're going to have Leia in it, learning her first abilities. Han Solo's probably going to be in it. And then,
because they're all still alive. And so that leads up to an important question that I definitely wanted to talk about. The Thrawn movie is known, so that's not a spoiler. We know he's going to get a movie.
Right. Yes.
In the Thrawn movie, so there's this big threat, like post episode 6, Luke exists, is in the universe, is teaching people how to be Jedi. Who plays Luke Skywalker? Because I don't want I don't want 6 hours of a youngified actor. I don't want that.
No. There's gonna be a new cast.
And I know
member.
you guys have mentioned this before. The guy
Will
that
there?
plays, what's his face from
Sebastian Stan.
Stan.
Yeah.
Sebastian Stan would be absolutely perfect. In fact, he's already like walking around Disney dressed as Luke Skywalker. Hey, look at me.
Honestly,
Right? He already
Right.
signed all the action movie documents. His
Hey,
physical's
they
already
haven't-
on file.
dude,
They already own
Disney
him.
loves reusing actors in different movies because they already have them on contract. Like Rosario
Dawson?
Yes, she was in that Haunted
The
Mansion
Haunted Mansion, yep.
Yeah.
And Luke Cage.
So I could.
yeah.
And Luke Cage, she's the nurse.
There were a lot of actors that needed to fill their contracts that were in Haunted Mansion.
Daredevil
Yeah.
and
I think-
I worked on the Daredevil and Jessica Jones shows. They were a lot of fun.
Humble brag.
David Tennant
sure.
season 1 of Jessica Jones is unreal.
They were awesome.
So
yeah.
great in that.
Those were so fun to work on. I
Unreal
did,
good, right?
yeah.
He is so good in that show.
Yeah.
Can we talk for half a minute about Ahsoka? I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Like it's
We haven't spoiled
I-
anything yet. Doug and I are doing really good.
No, you're right. I'm like almost done with Rebels. I'm like halfway through
Mhm.
season 4, and in Rebels, like Hera is this amazing warrior, amazing leader, amazing space pilot, just like brilliant. Always like comes out like super edgy, just like someone you can like people emulate, look up to. Just a wonderful character. And in the TV show, all I see are memes about her butt. And like even like her Lego character comes with 2 extra pieces that plug into.
Are you
back of
serious?
her
What?
suit. Yeah, and it's just kind of like really this is like an amazing character they built up for years. And it's like but those genes though.
That butt, though, yeah.
I don't
Damn.
think if we're thinking about it as a big picture, right? And I think we are. We're thinking about not just the events of Ahsoka. We're thinking about the events of the Thrawn movie and the Mandalorians movie. They're doing both of those. I think Hera's in a fine place. She's a general of the Republic. She has the ghost spaceship still. She's still awesome, right? And Chopper's still awesome.
Yeah.
Chopper's hilarious in the show.
Oh my god.
I think they focused a little on what is her son's name? Jason. They focused a little on Jason because they want the idea that Jason is going to be able to be another young Jedi, which he will be, obviously, right? Because he's already
Foreshadow.
yeah. I mean,
they're probably going to bring him into the movies that focus on Rey restarting the Jedi Order.
Or
That-
he
that's
is
the
a
reason
little
why-
old though. If we're thinking
Just
about
Ben
it
just
in a
take
Rey
him out
perspective,
at the Jedi camp, when Ben goes on his rampage.
because okay, so in Ahsoka, which is probably 10 years post 6, he's like 10, right? And so
Sure.
7
He is-
happens probably raised like what,
Years after
25, like 25 years post 6. And so
Yeah.
that's another 30. So like Jason is already a Jedi at that point.
But right, but who's trained him? I guess is the big question,
Ahsoka?
because Luke Skywalker.
Sabine, Ezra.
Well, yes, and
Luke.
that could be. Well, but they're stuck in another universe. Well, then Luke
They're gonna
tried to
come
train
back.
Jedi, and the whole order was destroyed by Kylo Ren. So, are they going to tie those events together and then jump ahead, because they're setting something up with Ahsoka and Ren being in another galaxy.
Yeah,
I just talked about how we were doing good.
Oh,
I think we're at time anyway, right?
We're at time.
I will say,
anyway, Star
from
Wars
a-
is good.
from a non-spoilery review of Ahsoka, because I did sort of half-watch some of it
It's
last night.
Great.
It was pretty cool.
Great.
It looked good.
It's great.
I will say, though, I definitely feel for like Mandalorian, I noticed this for the Obi-Wan show, and this one.
The Obi-Wan show was bad.
Yeah,
So.
but I'm
No,
definitely noticing
no.
I liked Obi-Wan.
the way they're produced is
It
it
very
was just
consistent.
Mandalorian with Ewan McGregor.
Yeah,
I mean,
pretty much.
What were you going to say, Pete? And then I
it's-
have a thing.
They're very well-contained, serialized episodes that are shot in a very cost-efficient way. I'll say that. They look great. They sound great because, you know, their visual effects, their post-production is extremely good. And color and sound work and all that. But it's
the wall.
Well,
the live. What the fuck is it called?
the volume.
The volume.
Oh,
A stupid name.
I could talk for an hour about issues with the volume. And you know, the whole thing of them trying to say like, oh, we no longer need compositors because we no longer need green screens and blue screens. We have the volume. Guess what? You know, I have the next month of work is to fix all the problems that they have after they shot the volume and they can't unshoot it.
The volume.
Womp womp.
What is the volume?
The volume
is the LED back screen.
Yeah, it's
that
a
they're
giant
using for Disney
LED
products.
Oh,
It's like a 180
Put you-
degree giant, literally wall, and it's not just
The Broncos suck.
yeah. It's oh that yeah.
Put you on the moons of Yavin, and we need to move on. We
Yeah.
are late.
Anyway, that'll be another topic. But I have a next topic announcement.
Do it.
Get it.
Okay, so this is inspired by Bill Murray from SNL from the 70s. Next topic, nothing but next topic. Give me those next topics. Don't let them end. And now I got to stop before we get demonetized.
Yeah, 3 seconds. So you all got 3 seconds. Now, as we've previously mentioned on this podcast, the writer's strike came to an end. However, the actors have not followed suit just yet. Now, Hollywood is definitely used to being a finely tuned marketing machine with all the actors doing tours and media as they promote their projects. However, while the late night shows have come back, the guests on their shows are either friends of the host or promoting a book as they cannot talk about upcoming TV or movie projects because of the strike. Now, there are some big movie releases that are upcoming very, very soon that normally would have huge media frenzy, including The Marvels, the next installment of The Hunger Games, Wonka, and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. So everyone, are we scared about Are we scared about the impact of the actor strike on upcoming movie releases?
You
yes.
answered your question for you, Mark. You answered all those movies. Like it's just like these aren't even movies anymore. We're just like regurgitating the same topic over and over and over and over again. Like so rarely am I impressed by movies anymore. Just like whatever. But let Pete do every movie in a computer. Like it's probably better.
I mean, that's
Like I don't
there
know.
are some good ones. Oppenheimer was great. I wish I would have got to work
but
on
it's
that.
like one.
But-
Like
I
you know,
know.
everything else
I
is
know.
just a remodel.
But it's also
They're-
filmed
you're
5
right,
years
Tim.
ago.
They're fewer
I
and
mean,
far between. They don't make them like they used to.
That's
What I'm hoping that
movie
the
was
strike
Baby
does.
Driver.
Go ahead, Doug.
What I'm hoping this strike does is that it kind of like these big movie blockbusters of these continuing things to just no one wants to see this anymore. And the stories aren't that good they're not.
Yeah.
So
The-
what I'm
well,
hoping
the-
it
And
does
yet the
is it
studios
brings
keep
more-
making them. The
Yeah,
studios keep making
the
them.
writing is
sure,
suffering.
but what this will do, it'll open up a lot more like independent films and original content because it's going to be cheaper to do, and it's going to lead to a birth of more just like content we've never seen before. I mean, the Marvel is a perfect example. There hasn't been a good Marvel movie since the last Avengers movies.
Well, I mean, they're not taking the time to sit and create and re-universe build, which is what they did very well back in the aughts. And they were universe building and universe building and universe building.
There was nothing before.
Right. So they
Yeah.
assume
Right.
that we care because they did all that universe building, but all those guys,
Sure.
all those actors have quit. All those characters are gone.
Yeah.
They're not there anymore. And now it's just, and you know, a thing that I really hate in media is episode of the week. I just don't really like episode of the week television shows. And so this is almost like episode of the week movies. And I don't think, and I love Marvel movies and I will watch them all. I have a real problem. But Phase 4 and Phase 5 have been really uninspired.
Yeah.
Really uninspired and not that good.
Give me the X-Men, yo.
No.
And I mean, that's not going to be good either.
It could
No,
be.
but you can almost just retcon everything and just start with the X-Men. Even the bad X-Men movies weren't that bad.
Well,
They were bad.
X-Men 3 was
X-Men
really
that is
bad.
a-
X-Men 3 was real bad.
Dark Phoenix was
X-Men 3 was
bad,
bad.
Doug. Dark Phoenix was
then
bad.
like, you know,
bad.
Isn't that,
Very
isn't that
bad.
so
Did it.
disappointing? Isn't that so disappointing? That's definitely one of the better X-Men stories, and they haven't been able
They've
to
never
do
done it right.
Oh,
The best
Both-
X-Men movie in a
both
long time
attempts-
was old Wolverine and old
Right,
Professor
both
X just
of them.
bitching at each other the whole time.
Logan was great. Great.
I love the second X-Men
Third
movie from
X-Men.
oh,
X2.
what was the well, no, it was the second,
First Class.
like the new class.
First Class?
First Class.
What
That
was
was
it
good.
First Classes.
It was
Right, but then
okay.
the second movie of that one,
Days
That's-
of Roads Past
they were-
or something.
when they were
I
time
just-
Oh, Days of
traveling,
Future
it was
Past.
oh, Days of Future Past.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I
Yes.
like Days of Future Past.
That was-
It's, tying in
that was
both
phenomenal.
universe. Yeah.
But Apocalypse
That was
was
great.
bad.
Oh.
that was terrible.
I
Again,
remember
another
being
great
so
story that-
disappointed in the movie theater with that one. That
Bad. Just not
Nothing-
good. I think any superhero movie where the superheroes use superhero magic to design their own suits, like when Jamie Foxx came out of like the electricity with just like an electro suit on, that was bad. bad. No
Tim,
good.
it's-
Nobody liked that.
Tim, it is Charlie Brown with the Lucy holding the football syndrome. Just this time I'm gonna kick it. And
Right.
every single day.
But then, you know, you have the movie of Daredevil, or not Daredevil. What's the? Oh my God, we were talking about it earlier with Taylor Swift becoming the X-Men.
Deadpool.
Oh, Dazzler.
3?
Yeah,
Deadpool.
Deadpool.
One day,
yeah.
I'm
one
excited
day
for the
Deadpool,
new Deadpool movie
one
only
day
because they're so
Deadpool 3 will
different.
come out.
But I
One
feel
day.
like that's because it makes fun of
So
itself.
different.
Yes.
Sure, and that's what the comic does. He makes fun of
Sure.
himself. He rips on the fourth
But
wall
also-
all the time in the comic.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds could sell
Ryan
a
Reynolds
shoe.
can do no wrong. Yeah.
He could sell a shoe, and I'd watch it.
Yes, and then they're bringing Hugh Jackman back, but then they're also and John, I don't know if you started watching the new season of Loki.
I have.
We're going to be bringing in.
Spoilers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I saw the picture
hang on
too.
through.
I have not watched the second season of Loki yet.
I haven't
So
either.
I-
I'm only a half episode in because Jamie.
Pete, they
hasn't
talk
been-
about time. You will love Loki.
Well, I
gonna
enjoyed
tie
season 1. I
in-
thought it was pretty good, actually.
Season 1 was
But-
great. Season 2, they're going to start bringing in all the the time streams are
Yeah.
are falling apart.
Be careful.
So
with that
you're going to
plot line.
see a lot of crossovers.
Yes.
I've
Season
seen,
2, I think, is going to be a
screen
good s-
grabs of
Pete told me
you know,
that was
the
a,
different
Pete told me when I
Spider-Man
showed him
for-
the picture that was
Spider-Man.
fake news. I believe Pete.
Wait,
Okay.
what's that?
When I showed you the picture of Andrew Garfield and you said that it was
Yeah.
faked.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that
That's
one I
real
think is
shots.
fake.
Yeah.
Ah,
I was
But
excited
it's
too.
The
but it
lighting's-
is
the lighting's in the wrong direction.
it's definitely set up though to tie in a bunch of stories and to set up
All right.
future movies.
Yes.
And so I just because we have to talk about it and we're already out of time, can we just say how original and good the Barbie movie was? Because it was best movie of the year
That was
by
good.
I haven't
far.
seen it.
I
yet.
enjoyed it.
I haven't seen it.
By far.
I
Dora-
will say that the Barbie movie had one of my favorite lines I've ever heard in my entire life, and I will never forget it. And it's not really a spoiler, so I think I'm happy to share it.
Go for
But
it.
he goes, "Once I realized the patriarchy wasn't about horses, I lost interest." And that was the funniest thing. It's such a beautiful line.
It was
It's
well
so
done.
well delivered, and it's just pure Ken.
Nice.
But it's just Ryan Gosling, like.
Greta Gerwig
Yeah.
has said,
I
and
love
she's
it.
the director and the EP of the movie,
just
but she has said that she couldn't mess it up. She couldn't, and she's right. I mean, it would have been bad if it was bad, but it was very
Yep.
good. And I literally at the end of the Barbie movie, I heard Mel and I'm like, "Is the Barbie movie good?"
It was really good.
Huh?
And it was really good. I mean,
Bridget-
it might win an
Bridget and
Oscar.
Nora
Good,
loved
it's
it.
so good,
I
and
It's
it,
not gonna win an Oscar.
No,
it
but-
might. It was good.
Watch
It,
it
was
first.
acted well.
Watch
The
it.
plot was
I'm
good.
sorry, no.
It was
I
Have you seen it?
honestly.
I
you
have
haven't
not,
seen
but
it.
those movies do not win
Alright,
Oscars.
No, I don't think.
I don't have
think
to
you
see
understand.
it. I don't have to see it in order to know that that movie does not win an Oscar.
I think you might be wrong.
all I will say is this past summer was the most happy I've been with like movies in forever, and it was because of the Barbenheimer accomplishment.
The Barbenheimer
did
weekend.
both in 1 week. One Oppenheimer in IMAX and Barbie at the drive-in, and enjoyed both.
And
Did
we're
you
out of
work
time.
on either of those movies?
I
Pete?
did not. Although a lot of, you know what? Just because I can't stress enough, a lot of people did, and they were not credited because of this
In
whole
Oppenheimer.
bullshit.
Oh,
That's like,
yeah,
no
Christopher
CG.
Nolan.
All right. Yeah, sorry. All right.
You did say it on the show.
Yeah.
Doug should be listening. He's a bad listener.
I do listen. I don't remember hearing that.
In Doug's defense, we put out a lot of content.
Yeah, he's
It's true.
in
It is
the
something
running
to
for
keep
number
He can't
one
remember.
fan.
He can't remember them all.
I
I barely remember them all.
I don't remember
I don't
them
even
all
know.
either.
I don't even know that George is in our fantasy league. Okay, so
That is true.
Okay.
Well, that's
This
just 'cause-
household listens to that podcast every single week, and by say this household, I mean one of the people that live here.
Yes.
Fuck yeah, you do.
Listens to it
And we
And then
appreciate you,
tells me-
Tim.
and tells me about it.
It's Lisa. But yes. She's
Well,
our number one
100%
fan.
Lisa.
spoiler alert.
Is-
Yeah.
I'm like 1 in 10.
Sorry,
I'm
Doug, you
not
lose.
good, but I do like stealing your
Sorry.
fantasy advice. So
It's been
Game
okay.
over?
I mean, the game was over before it started.
It's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they score? I don't
Chiefs
think they
won.
scored.
No, the Broncos were
won.
driving, and then the Chiefs decided that they wanted to end the game, and they took the ball away.
19-8.
It's a weird score.
It's
All
a
right.
great score.
Final topic.
Final topic. Fight.
All right, well, Pete got in the way of our
Oh,
fun.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Do you want to sing the
We gotta-
song?
No, we don't have
No,
time for fun. We don't
have
fun.
time for fun.
Alright.
I love the song.
All right. Since we already mostly talked about all the rest of my topics, I just get to be sad. The New York Yankees plan on making significant changes after their disappointing 82-80 2023 season finish. While a lot of teams wouldn't lament a 500 record, this is the first time they've missed the playoffs since 2016 and their worst record overall since 1992. Despite a 2023 payroll of $281 million and a luxury tax bill of an estimated $31 million. At a conference on Wednesday, owner Hal Steinbrenner said, "We're going to be making some changes. Some may be more subtle than others, and I think we've uncovered certainly things we can do better." So now, I'm hopefully assuming that at least some of this is referring to firing Aaron Boone, if not the firing of Boone as well as Brian Cashman. What do we think the changes are the Yankees are going to make, and what would we do if we had a say?
I mean, they got to fire Aaron Boone. I'm surprised they haven't done it already. I really am. Like, what has Aaron Boone really done?
Lose. He's lost a lot.
Oh, and by
lot
the
of-
way, Tim, I know you were complaining about Boston sports fans earlier. New York City sports fans, I think, are worse because listen to John. He's complaining about being 2 games over 500.
Hey! Hey!
Hey, you got a standard, man. You got to stand by the
He's got his.
standards.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Pinstripes, baby.
But anyway,
Yankees, how you doing?
Aaron.
I'm a Cubs
I
fan.
really am surprised Aaron Boone is still there. I'm not surprised that Brian Cashman is still there. I mean, while Cashman hasn't done a lot in a long time, I don't know. He must have some like bad pictures of the Steinbrenner somewhere.
Listen, right? This isn't even doing a lot, and this season was a case of him doing nothing for no reason. He should have done something, and he did nothing. But
Literally
the
did
way
nothing.
he took the team in 2021 that got cheated out of a World Series appearance by the Houston Astros, the way that he took that team.
I'm glad you're over that,
Houston
by the way. I'm glad you're over that.
Asterisks.
What do you say, Jim?
Houston Asterisks.
Yes, the Houston Asterisks,
That's
exactly.
amazing.
So the way that 2021 team got cheated out of
100%.
a World Series appearance,
100%.
he took that team apart, took that whole team apart, and sold it all away. Sold it all away.
Apparently on the Rangers now.
Apparently on the fucking Rangers. Jesus. I mean, there's so many players, and there's a little bit of the conversation that is how many players do better off the Yankees than on the Yankees, and that has happened a number of times.
Absolutely.
Right? Some people can't handle the market and whatever, but it's just so many mistakes. Like, oh my god.
So
If
And there doesn't seem to be a plan, right? There doesn't seem
if
to
I
be a
make many mistakes at work, I got fired.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of very expensive mistakes.
Just admit it. The Yankees were the best when George Costanza was with them.
Yes, I do admit it. That team, man.
every hire George.
yeah, my contribution.
Yeah.
My contribution to this, John, as a lifetime Bills and Sabres fan, is just giving you the James Franco meme where he's on the blocks to be hung, and he goes first time.
That's good.
That's a good reference. I like that. I think that the problem in New York is that
I think their bagels are amazing, and they're just not. They're just fine.
Our bagels are amazing.
It's just bagels.
Oh, wow.
That's as bad as
So
selling,
actually, all y'all Western New Yorkers, have you ever had an egg bagel?
yeah.
I mean, I know you have because you've had egg bagels, Pete, at the places
We have
that
a
I've had.
Manhattan
Yeah.
bagel
Where are you
right
go?
down
Where are you
That's
going
true.
with this?
I just wanted to, I don't know if they've ever had a bagel. If they have never had a bagel in New York City.
Okay, we
that's all.
pivoted from Yankees
fine.
losing
I've
to
been to New
defend
York.
bagels, fight.
definitely- so,
sells
like,
really good
I
bagels.
used to have a friend that lived on Staten Island before we
That's
all
not New
betrayed
York
him.
City. Shut up. Staten Island.
Like
Hold
yeah.
on.
How
I've
dare
never
you.
heard. I've never
Hold
heard
on,
anyone
hold on,
brag
hold on.
about someone they know as
Those
Staten
are,
Island.
those are garbage dumb
All right.
bagels because Staten Island
And we
literally
would
is a
go
garbage
into
dump.
the city a lot.
Let him finish.
And
Oh,
so
wow.
I've eaten a share of bagels. Lisa and I have gone to the city a number of times
I know you have.
and wandered around and eat food in alleys. This is how New York should be done.
Well,
Wander
it's
and
true.
eat.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I just don't. It's just bagels, man. Like it's just dense bread. Get over it. It's not nothing
But it's
special.
the
I would
perfect
probably
density
say-
of
It's
bread.
dense, airy bread, though.
I would probably say
Just
that
bread.
I would defend the New York City pizza harder than I would defend New York City bagels.
Hmm.
I like cheap pizza. Two Brothers. What is it? $1 pizza from Two Bros Pizza or something like that.
What? There's a
Like
place that has
four
$1
slices.
Two Bros
slices.
pizza?
It was like 4 slices, 2 pops was what was that? $12, something like that.
Yep.
It was amazing.
Oh,
Yo, so we used to when the junior
I
and
miss-
senior,
I miss the
At-
days
at
of
my
the
high
dollar
school.
slice.
which
Yeah.
was in Midtown, used to walk to a pizza shop that had like a counter against the street. So you used to walk to a counter in the middle of Manhattan. Used to order a pizza and a Coke for $1.
And
Oh,
hey,
I
used
miss
to get
those
two.
days.
dude, freshman
miss
sophomore
those
year at
days.
RPI, I Love Pizza had the same. I Love NY Pizza had the same thing. It was in that.
Well, it's a very New York City thing,
yeah,
right?
it was
And
New
so
York
that's
City
why I
inspired
loved it.
pizzeria in downtown
It's
Troy.
the perfect drunk food.
Yeah,
And how much is that slice in a Coke now?
more
I mean, I
than,
still
more
probably
than $1.
under 10. You can get it pretty cheap.
$31.
Yes.
31.
My
Pizza and all-
introduction to New York City pizza was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Okay,
Mm.
okay, that makes sense.
And they ordered it in the first movie, but in the second movie they focused a lot on the pizza.
What do you think
Yeah,
about the
it's
Megan
one
Fox
movie. That-
Teenage Mutant Ninja
That's one
Turtle
shit.
reboots?
There's a whole scene shot in
Wasn't-
Buffalo in that movie.
Oh, yeah?
Really?
The second. in the
Great.
second
cool.
one,
It
yeah,
wasn't
the
fair. It was on the 33.
Oh,
Yeah,
no shit.
The whole like
Okay.
highway chase is filmed in Buffalo.
Sweet.
I got really excited
It
that
wasn't
movie finally
terrible.
had a Krang, but the way that they did Krang was just
Yes.
awful.
Okay, if it was not a giant brain remote controlling a ridiculous looking like naked peach robot suit thing, then it's a disappointment.
Well, I think they had the wrong actor too. Didn't they have Brad Garrett as
No.
Krang?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that Halloween party we were at Riverworks, and the guy was
Riverworks,
dressed
yeah.
up as Krang,
It was a Krang
in the
costume.
suit.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was
You can barely
amazing.
get in the door.
Hold on. Let me see if I can pull a picture up real quick.
It won't
No, no, we
translate
don't
to
have time for this, Doug.
We're at time. If you could.
well, maybe we can share it later. Maybe we can share it a little later. Anyway,
With
are we
us,
done?
This is Doug.
We're done.
Yeah.
Pete has to
Okay.
press the
We're done.
buttons.
Pete, you ready?
Hold on. I was gonna try something first.
Oh boy.
Pete, do
It
it.
has to be your goal.
All right, I'm gonna switch
But
to
do it
loop
fast.
back, so you guys should be able to hear this. I'm gonna play the Doug
Am I going to hear
Pete,
myself
and Tim
too?
original monster movie music.
Oh, this
Oh,
is
nice.
This is going to test my ability to read a script and listen to music at the same
Well,
time.
no,
I don't think
I'm gonna play the
This is
regular
not for,
preamble.
this is not for the outro.
Yeah, this is a bonus.
Oh, okay. We're supposed to...
So we're good.
So long since I've heard this.
All right.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it just loops
Amazing.
forever. Can you hear me again?
Yeah. That was
Okay.
amazing, Pete.
There you go. Yeah, that was made in Super Mario Paint. Not a sponsor, but
That
I was
was
gonna
so
say
good.
it sounds like a death metal band trying to do a Nintendo.
we
theme
literally
song.
just that song came about by just throwing a shit ton of the heart icon on the staff in random order, and then I was like, I'm like, I think you guys got something here. Let me put some drums in
the
it.
Mushrooms.
The mushrooms with was a kick drum.
I
I was like, let me put some mushrooms in there, and then
there's like 1 or 2 babies and then 1 or 2 crickets, which I know is just me throwing anarchy into your world. It's like, they won't notice these.
Amazing.
These are fine.
All right,
Yeah.
Pete, we ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so that has been our 10 topics. We'd like to thank our guests for joining us this week. Thank you, Tim and Doug.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
You.
Please subscribe to us on this very YouTube channel or follow or like us on our socials at If These Balls Pod on X, Instagram, Facebook, and Threads. Our website is www.iftheseballscouldstalkpod.com. This is Mark Pesci, and for my partners John Campani and producer Pete Steffen, that's what we feel they would say if these balls could talk.
Good night, everybody. That's amazing.
Bye. Bye.